You know,
it's hard out here for a pimp when he trying to get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. We'll have a whole lot of bitches jumping shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Will cause a whole lot of jumping shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Will have a whole lot of jumping shit.
What's going on, party people? It's your man, 50 Grand, the Godfather, Nate Milton, and you are about to listen to another excellent episode from the Nefarious Media Network. Since January of 2025, we have been putting it down for the crown, and we've been committed to bringing you truthful, thoughtful, turned-up commentary as it pertains to the worlds of sports, politics, pop culture, pro wrestling, entertainment, and life. Yes, life. This thing that we are all just trying to get through day by day. An electric word called life, as the man used to say. And that brings us to the drive for 500. Yes, 500 YouTube subscribers, which gets us halfway to monetization, and 500 Patreon subscribers. Patreon.com/Nefarious Media Network. That's our stretch goal for the year. Because if we hit those marks, it allows us the flexibility and the freedom and the funds, quite honestly, to do some more things here at the network, to be more consistent with our shows, to bring you new shows, and to bring some people on to help with production. So if you believe in us, man, if you believe in what we're doing here, because we got a lot of hard-working people, myself included, working 50, 60 hours a week at the shoot jobs, got families, got kids, got responsibilities, but we still do this, man, because we love this and we believe in this. And if you believe in us and you love the shows that we do, help us out, man. Help a brother out. Help a sister out. That's all we asking, because we are trying to change the game by any means necessary, even if those means may be nefarious.
Not be able to stay home, brother.
you know, when they ask you that, you just say yes.
Soup salad or breadsticks?
I would love
yes.
I would love the super salad.
Hey peeps, welcome to another episode of the Super Salad Podcast. I'm your host, OG Rachel, also known as Rachel Eiley, and I'm here with my awesome co-host, Brother Nate. Brother Nate, where are you at?
I'm right here. I am right here, Rachel. Good to be back with you, my friend. We got a lot to talk about on this edition, this issue, if you will, of Super Salad. Both of you You and I, as well as our fearless producer Ray Williams, have seen this little indie movie that got a lot of buzz this summer. So I'm
Really
excited
proud
to
of
talk about it. A little art house flick, if you will. But let's bring out the third member of our crew, Rachel.
Let's bring him out. Ray Williams.
In an allusion, Ray, to something we may talk about later on in this episode, I would like to recite a few words about this man, Ray Williams. Because in brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape Ray's sight. Let all who worship evil's might beware his producer powers. That old backsliding vegan Ray Williams light. Ray Williams, get out here, man. What's up, man?
I don't know if I should feel honored or offended. I think
a little bit of both.
Last part got me offended. Yeah,
a little bit of both. What's that? The last line in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, are we gonna help people or get into trouble? A little bit of both. A bit of both. How are you, Ray?
I'm all right. It's always a pleasure to join you both. Again, usually if I'm joining you guys, if I'm joining anything on Nefarious, it's usually dealing with pro wrestling or sports and stuff that I'm quite familiar with. But yeah, when we get into like the comic book game, I just let y'all take over as I fade into the background. So it's always a pleasure for me to just let my shooters shoot.
You're an important part of the podcast at this point, Ray. You really are.
I appreciate that.
You're almost like I was gonna say you're almost like our Frank Castle, Ray. Like Rachel and I just showed up in your little shabby hideout somewhere in the outskirts of the nation's capital, and I don't know why you got all these guns out here, Ray Williams. That doesn't seem safe or prudent. But somehow we make it work.
Well, being near the nation's capital, I think around these times, I think it feel even more apropos than ever to be strapped up.
to be strapped up.
Let's try not to get on any watch list, guys.
We know Cash Patel is watching. So.
Yes, he's watching us like a hawk right now.
He's a big fan. Yes.
Speaking of watching us, Andy B is watching us as well. Shout out to Andy B. Well. Hey, Andy B, are you busy, man? You busy? I can have Ray shoot the link, man, if you want to hop on, talk a little Spider-Man, cuz. Not to step on Rachel's toes.
No, of course. I would love to have Andy on. My podcasting fame dates back pretty exclusively to Andy, so
we'll have Ray effort that in the background if Andy wants to join us. No pressure,
Sorry,
Andy B.
That's a great reference. Okay, but yes, Spider-Man, brand new day. Let's talk. Okay, I have thoughts. I saw this movie yesterday, so it's very fresh in my
mind.
After planning to see it for a while, but god damn, was that sad for a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So emotional. I cried like 3 different times. I was like, god damn, they're really getting me. But I really liked it. Really emotional and like forward for a superhero movie for sure. But I think it was a really like good next step in his journey. I'll be completely honest, I definitely have not seen like the 2 Spider-Man movies before this.
Really?
Not for lack of wanting to, it just like didn't happen. I like Tom Holland. I think he's a really good Spider-Man. I wanted to see the one with, is it Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, where they were like in London shit and
Far From Home.
Something happened, and then there was a No Way Home. I knew the thing about they're erasing the memory and all that. I did know about that. But they did start this movie with a reminder of that, which was very helpful. So, should I give a brief plot summary to catch everybody up?
Yes, do the honors since you came in with the freshest watching of the movie. I'll let you do the honors, right?
All right, sounds good. So it starts with a brief reminder that to sacrifice for the greater good of the world. our
Great.
hero Peter Parker had to have Doctor Strange, who is everyone's convenient plot device these days, cast a spell to have them forget Peter Parker from the world, not Spider-Man, but Peter Parker. Just so you know, it's only him sacrificing like his personal connections and everything. And Aunt May is dead, even though she was like 60 or something like that. Marissa Tomei is too young to be playing a dead person, but whatever. That happened. So he's being all emo and hiding out somewhere in an apartment building, watching Ned on like Instagram Live and stuff, and watching him and MJ like go live their lives and being MIT students because smart science kids, you know. And Spider-Man's doing cool stuff, and he apprehends the Hand Ninjas and some other people. We had a really cool Tobias Whale cameo at this point. It took me a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "Oh, he was the villain on that on Batwoman." No, not Batwoman. That was Black Lightning. It took me a minute, but I got there. That I was like, "Wow, does he only play crime lords? Because that's the only place I've seen him." And I mean, he's really good at it. But like,
yes, and this is not his first time. Of course, we're speaking about Marvin Crondon Jones, who was Tobias Whale on Black Lightning on the CW. But this isn't his first time playing Tombstone because he's done it.
Yes, no, he was pre-existing. I remember now. Okay.
Yes, he's done it in the video game, and he's done it in the animated series, I believe.
Gotcha.
And so it was cool. I was hoping we would get more of Crondon because even in that little scene we got, he was great. So maybe they'll bring him back for the next one just as like a first act foil. But he was really good. I'm so happy.
He's really good. So I would like him. I was like, I had like a whole bunch of memories going back from that and being like, oh wow, that was so long ago. I mixed Black Lightning and everything. Anyway, okay, Spider-Man. So they have a whole, you know, a bunch of scenes, and it's like time passing, and Spider-Man's doing really good, but you know, he's sacrificing all the Peter Parker parts of himself. Frank Castle is here. I have to give a shout out to John Bernenthal for being casted a character who is supposed to be like the most serious person ever and dealing with all this like darkness inside him and stuff, and then only purely being played for comedic relief past that. He does a really great job at it. And I think him as an actor, he does really well playing off a bunch of different people. He was great with Karen in Daredevil, and he's great with Tom Holland here. So and he's just like a really talented actor, and I think he's really good. But he was here being all grungy, and Spider-Man was chasing a tank that was going through downtown to crash into the ominously named Department of Damage Control. Because we know the villain in these movies is always the ominously named federal government. And they crash the tank into this prison, which is, you know, a great way to bust people out of prison, I guess. And it turns out it's like this old lady inside who's, you know, doing like, oh, where am I? How did I get here? And it's a telepath who can body jump between people. And everyone's like, wow, I don't know who this is. And so he breaks the one guy out of prison. And that they're looking for something called VMAX, and Spider-Man talks to Yelena, who's now Black Widow, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, I'm going to help you figure out what's going on with this telepath. And, you know, he's doing stuff, and he goes see Bruce Banner, who's teaching at Empire State University for some fucking reason. No offense to them, but that's like a state school, and it's not a particularly good state school.
A check is a check, Rachel. These Avengers checks hadn't been clearing lately.
I was just like, that's you really couldn't have given him a better one, but that I was like, I guess the state let him film there, so they wanted to give him the shout out. But
ever since Tony died, those Avengers resources have been drying up, my friend.
Like, whatever. Okay, so he's teaching physics at this class, and he has this little like arm inhibitor thing, and he's like, oh, this keeps me from being the Hulk. Yeah, that kind of shit. And so oh, right. So the other part, Peter is having some issues with his arachnid DNA that is randomly decided to show up and make him go into like super spider mode. It was super interesting because I was seeing the parallels with this and like the Venom storyline when we had Toby's, and then he gets the organic web material, and he's like, oh, Peter too had this. And I was like, yeah, Toby, shout out. That was gross. I understand why they retconned that in the later movies. But apparently we have that again. Cool. So, and he's like, yeah, in super mode, and he like almost injures a cop trying to fight Scorpion. It's a whole thing. And then when he's in the mode, he could like see the telepath jumping to people, but he can't do that anymore for some reason that's never really explained. And everyone's like, ooh, who's the telepath? And then they're like, oh, it's this random redheaded chick who they don't tell us who they is at first. Side note, I personally have the ability to completely forget everything I know about a movie before going into it once I'm actually in the movie. And I was like, oh, I wonder who that is. And then they're like, oh, her name is Jean Grey. And I was like, oh, I knew that. And then I was like, oh, I wonder who's playing Jean Grey. She looks really familiar. I have to look her up later. And then they cut to the flashback scene. I was like, oh, that's clearly Sadie Sink.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that too. Just that's what because I like it just wasn't connecting. And then the flashback scene, I was like, oh no, that's clearly Sadie Sink. Okay. Anyway, so they're like, yeah, Jean Grey, she was in like foster care and shit and blah blah blah. So and then she's like gonna attack MJ for some reason because they needed to shoehorn her into the plot. So they Peter goes to MJ and he's like, you have to trust me, blah blah blah, Spider-Man, and takes her to Frank Castle's house to hide out. And then Jean Grey is attacking the Department of Damage Control with Bruce Banner and Hulk, who he managed to like get the inhibitor off, I guess. For some reason that works. And he's just like randomly attacking shit. I would love some like consistent lore on the Hulk and like if he can control who's attacking or if he's just really mad and breaking things, because this feels super inconsistent with the previous Avengers movies. But anyway, so Spider-Man goes there and is like, I'm going to do it by myself. And MJ's like, Frank Castle, adult, you clearly have to go help him. And Frank's like, oh, I wasn't going to do that. But goes and helps him and, you know, then becomes possessed by Jean Grey. And they manages to like blow the door open where the bunch of people are sitting. And the head of the Department of Damage Control is this guy that for some reason I got in my head was being played by Billy Porter. I later checked and decided I found out this was not Billy Porter. I don't know why I thought that.
That's a different movie.
Yeah, no, entirely.
That's a different black man altogether. But Rachel,
like, okay.
if it makes you feel better, Rachel, I once confused I once mixed up Candace Owens with who did I mix it up with, Nate? That one late night we were talking about Candace Owens, and it was like I mixed up the names. And you were like, why do you hate her? I'm like, have you not seen her talk? You're like, you mean Candace Owens? I'm like, oh yeah.
Yes, I forget who it was, but yes, for those that are listening to the audio version, Andy Baback, Maleficent has joined the party. But yes, Andy confused Candace Owens, right wing podcaster, even though now she's trying to walk it back, with another black lady, and I was like, no, those aren't the same people, Andy.
So yeah.
If it makes you feel better, Rachel, when I was just watching the trailers, I thought Keith David was playing the head of Damage Control because the voice sounded very Keith David-ish. And then when I saw the movie, I'm like, that's not Keith David.
So, so Peter had like done his own creator of the inhibitor stuff and manages to get one on Jean and like dispowers her, and not Bill Porter also shoots her with like a tranquilizer gun. She's like, okay, we got her, good job. And then Peter's like, why was she talking about Sarah? Who's Sarah? And not Bill Porter is like, oh, well, it was clearly because she was in my mind for something, blah, blah, blah. And when Jean had previously been in MJ's mind, I thought it was really mean, honestly.
Yes.
Like, Peter think that she was like remembering him for a second, and they had a whole moment, and it was like I was like really sad about that after. So Jean is in the possession of the bad people, and Spider-Man is back talking to MJ and is like, because he helped her fix this is a really linear retelling of this movie. I can tell. He helped her fix the inhibitor thing, and stuff. And he's like, oh, I don't remember when she was in my mind. And he was like, not Bill Porter lied to me about, what happened. So he goes back to the hideout. He's like, MJ, we got her. And then MJ found the letter that he was supposed to give her at some point, but never actually did. and is like having emotions and been like, why did you make this decision for me? I should have had a choice in the decision of whether I remember you or not. And he's like, well, like, you clearly don't remember me. And then she's like, well, you know, maybe I'm sure this girl loved you, but I don't remember you and I don't love you. And for a minute, you're like, oh, damn, this is going to be a really sad movie. And then she's like, but you want to like hang out? That personally made me feel a little better. So
no. First, Rachel, not to interrupt, but first she says, I need a ride home because you brought me to this crazy man's house and I have no way of getting back. So that was hilarious. Then when he drops her off at the apartment, she's like, you want to come in, meet Ned, hang out for a little bit? And I was like, oh.
Yeah, and that was good because I was like, this was going to be really sad, and I like really felt bad for Peter Parker. So they go and they hang out, and then what happens after that? Oh yeah, so they cut to the Department of Damage Control, and not Bill Porter, and they're like, Luke.
Well, his name is Bill. His name is Bill, though. You
Bill Metzger. Yes.
Yeah,
okay,
Bill Metzger,
I will refer to him by his character name now. Bill Metzger. And he's like, well, you know, we had your sister in here and she was doing some really good work. And I hope you can honor her sacrifice by continuing that. And you're like, oh, son of a bitch. God damn it, Bill Metzger. And, you know, Jean kind of figures this out because she's looking at like the thing on the fake room in front of her with the vent for the air conditioning. And it says Vent Max, but it was getting pushed back and it says V Max. So she's like, oh, my sister like had a psychic like overload moment and pushed VMAX to me when it was just the fucking name on the vent. It was not some secret thing that these people actually had. So Jean has like a fucking breakdown, which is completely valid because these people killed her sister. So I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of on Jean's side, honestly. But since she's like super powerful and everything, it like sends a psychic wave out to like half of Manhattan that they're like paused, I guess. Mm-hmm. They're like stuck in suspended animation. It was kind of giving Wanda vibes, honestly. So interesting stuff going on. And there's a flashback with her older sisters being stuck by them and it gets kidnapped and all the shit. So they figure out what's going on and Peter goes and he manages to talk Jean down because of course he manages to talk Jean down because that's his only thing. And he has to like rip the inhibitor off himself to conquer like the hand and the people. And he has a whole bunch of like emotional realizations, their stuff. And he stops Jean from killing Bill Metzger. And Peter lets her go into his mind and talks to Aunt May and is like, you can experience love too. And you're not just a really poor rejected child that was never loved in their life, blah, blah, blah. And with his new Spidey senses that he apparently didn't have before, whatever. He's Frank Castle going to like shoot her from God knows how long, how far away, but apparently he has a really good gun. And he turns around and takes the bullet for her. And I was like, God damn, Peter Parker, that's emotional. But she drops the field of psychic energy or whatever. So then Frank Castle, I guess he has a really good sight on his gun, figures out that he shot Spider-Man instead and is very sad and pulls him to the hospital and everyone's like, oh no, Spider-Man, sad. But Jean was apparently keeping him alive with his powers, and he makes a recovery and they have to sneak him out of the hospital while Frank is in the window with the Spider-Man mask on and being cool Spider-Man. It was pretty funny.
It was hilarious.
So the Peter goes to Aunt May's grave and he's like, I'm going to stop trying to do everything alone. He sees Ned's in the store and he introduces himself and he's like, hi, I'm Peter. And they do their old handshake and then Ned looks and he goes, Peter? And then they cut to black because, you know, you can't have anything fun. And they leave that off. And then there is one end credit scene with the Spidey act that foreshadows him going to space. I'm assuming it has something to do with Doomsday. Cool.
So that was Rachel with the recap. Excellent job, Rachel. So we're in the rare position where everybody on this show, including Ray Williams, has seen Spider-Man Brand New Day. We also did an edition of the Avengers Initiative that was up on the Patreon, and we released it on the free feed last week. If you want to hear more of our thoughts with Brent Chittenden, Brittany Monet, and myself. But let's start with you, Ray, because you were very excited about this movie. You wanted to talk about Spider-Man. So Ray Williams, who watches 2 movies a year, Andy B, is on pace to break his own personal record because he's already seen Supergirl this year. He's seen Spider-Man, and he's gonna see Doomsday. So
That's
Ray
three
is getting ready to
movies.
set a record. 3 movies in 1 year. Slow down, Ray. Slow down. But what did you think of Brand New Day, sir?
I know, doggone Regal making all the money off of me. I always
Finally
keep
putting
telling
that Regal
myself,
past
like,
the use.
yeah, it's like maybe I might go to more than one movie a month. Like, no, you're never gonna go to more. But I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was a great film. Um, I don't know if we were gonna go into like ranking all the Spider-Mans, but as far as like the Tom Holland ones, I think this ranks up there. At least for me, this ranks up there like second to No Way Home for me because I did see the last 2 Spider-Mans. Rachel Hadley. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Like that's the one thing I can have up on somebody is that I watched something. But then you got up on me with the lanterns, which we'll get into later. But yeah, I really dug the movie. I thought, like you mentioned, I thought that the sadness, I thought it needed to happen because we needed to see kind of the isolation apart of Peter Parker now that he did make this choice. And just kind of like what is he going through? And I think somebody brought it up too. I think and I talk to you about this all the time, brother Nate. I think when I watch Double Toasted, it's like, where is this brother? He not a photographer yet for the Daily Bugle. Where is this
Correct.
brother getting the money from? Like he buying pizzas and stuff.
So the theory that we gave on the Avengers Initiative is that Spider-Man is busting these criminals and then he's selling the dope on the corner somewhere. Like, hey man, I got that Venom strain. It's gonna take you to the skies, baby. And it's like, why is Spider-Man cleaning up all the corners in New York City except for this specific one where this random kid hangs out at? Got that flip, baby, that flip. The new strain, Ray.
Right, and nobody knows Peter Parker anyway. He's just like,
I got that spectacular.
I ain't got no records.
Yeah, that is a good question. Like, where does he get his money from in this universe? They did not establish that.
I was thinking that somewhere in the middle of that. I was like,
a friend I went to see it with, he thinks that it was maybe his Aunt May's like life insurance that he probably got after she passed away, like some sort of inheritance. But I'm like, damn, how much money was that woman making for him to be
right? Aunt May wasn't rolling like that.
like 3D
printers don't cover catastrophic injury.
3D printers,
Yep.
suit makers, AI technology.
Yep.
Radios that can like tap into police networks and things like that. Technology he can still use to make his like advanced mask because inside that the mask like he's still like zooming in and like analyzing stuff and so on. And so I'm like, listen, like I mean, unless Aunt May just like really saved up.
Like, did Tony leave him any money?
That's what I'm thinking.
I was like,
but
maybe.
again, would he? But after the No Way Home spell, like, would he even like? Would Tony even remember, like, making out his will to, this kid that he no longer remembers?
Well, Tony was dead by then, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm assuming whatever accounts he had, he probably had to empty them into a new account because he wouldn't be able to access the Peter Parker accounts because nobody knows who Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
Remember because the thing that
he's just got a Cash App. His entire life savings is on Cash App because you don't need an ID for Cash App, Andy.
What could go wrong?
Okay. Yeah, and probably it would have been like probably too on the nose if they were like, let's use Venmo. It's like it almost spells Venom.
Yes.
That is a good
you got a
product.
Venmo from Eddie Brock. I don't want to accept this.
Would have been a funny Easter egg, but that was. It's a little funny, like how they're like just that's the one part. Like he's because he's always walking around with a backpack or something. And it's like, bro, where are you going? Are you going to work? Are you like, where are you
Mhm,
going?
Always getting all these flowers too, and they're expensive flowers. He getting roses all the time to put on Aunt May's grave.
That is true.
Mhm.
I
Maybe
will
maybe
say-
Happy helped him out. He met him at that grave at one time at the end of the last
Yeah.
movie.
Because, and that was, I always said that was on Smallville. They always use the billionaires as plot devices for, whatever they needed. So I feel like it's reasonable that, one of the billionaires involved here was, funded something. So
Is
Mhm.
Yelena kicking in stuff on his Cash App? Like, hit
I
his
mean,
small
just-
potatoes, Peter Parker. Hit his small potatoes, $20.
Someone must be hooking him with something, because like, there's no way, unless he's just stealing all this stuff.
Right.
Like, it wouldn't shock me if he actually did.
I mean, he's busted a lot of criminals. Criminals do have money. Maybe he's just keeping the criminal money.
yeah.
Or I mean, I don't think he's taking money. I think he's just stealing technology. Like, I don't
Mhm.
think he, like, because it would be kind of weird to have like a Spider-Man in the MCU where he's like, he's like, I'm a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man for a price.
He's saving people. All right, that'll be $29.50.
You receive an invoice later.
Uh,
You want to leave a tip? Hit the button right there.
Send it to my Cash App.
Our Black Friday specials, and Cyber Monday specials are coming up. Get my help for only $15.99.
2 saves for the price of 1.
Spider-Man subscription plan.
Yes. Oh yes, a monthly Spider-Man subscription. He could kill with that.
Spider-Man
Literally.
Plus.
Ray, you would sign up for the Spider-Man Regal app, and then Spider-Man would only save you 3 times a year. You're like, I'm not getting my value for this plan.
You get like a punch card. If you save me 4 times, the
5th time is free.
Get one for free.
But you liked it overall.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. And I would definitely like to see how it plays into Doomsday. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay. Andy B, fearless leader of the multiverse of color. You've come decked out with your Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, yes. This is just one of it. I got the mug,
Okay, we got the mug.
and I also got the popcorn bucket.
I was gonna say, did you get the popcorn
there it
bucket?
is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
These
I'm
two
taking
were-
it you like the movie then if you've got all this memorabilia.
Fuck no. No, but I. Oh wait, can I curse on this? Can I curse on the
Yes,
show?
yes.
I
Rachel
mean, I've
allowed
said
it.
fuck like 6 times already, so I think so.
Okay. So I actually, because this is a very rare year for me, where like I'm actually trying to see movies more than once in theater. I try to. So I saw Spider-Man Brand New Day twice. One time I went to see it by myself because I'm like, I'm one of those people where like I need to absorb it by myself, and then I went next day, I went with my friend. As someone who like really, really like. By the time we reached No Way Home, that's when like Tom Holland really solidified himself as a solid Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is still personally my favorite Spider-Man, but I think Holland has probably the better movies.
Mhm.
But seeing, because again, I was thinking like, how are they gonna top Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland teaming up together? Like, how are they gonna, top that? Because and as someone who has like covered this movie professionally for the last, I feel like it's been like 3-4 years now. Like I'm like, okay, Tom Holland seems really, he's gassing this up. Okay, he's really getting really, really involved. Okay, this must be something really special. And by the time I finished the first time, I'm like, holy crap, they did it. Like they actually outdid No Way Home, and really showed that they're sticking to their guns. Like they're making, this is a new saga for Spider-Man. He is growing up. He is on his own, and so like for me, like this is the best MCU Spider-Man movie. Then of course, if we were ranking against all the other movies, like that'll be tricky,
Yeah.
But I really feel like this is the first time in the MCU where like this is really a Spidey story where like he's on his own resources, possibly selling dope somewhere in New York, but also like the fact that it's not. I mean, it's weird to say called it a non-fantastical story because again, it's about a guy with spider powers. But the point being is that this time, like, we weren't in space, we were dealing with the multiverse. We were dealing with something very, because a lot of people really wanted to see a street level story. Like everyone was kind of hoping that it would be Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, and the Defenders, stuff like that. We got one, we got at least one. So, but the fact that they used someone like Jean Grey and Damage Control, I felt like was really, I don't want to say grounded, but like it fit enough to the point where like I could take the stakes seriously and not be how is he gonna get out of this? So, Destin Daniel Cretton is probably the best thing that's happened to Spider-Man in decades. I'm not behind people who are like going to John Watts' Instagram comments and attacking him or whatever and so on. Like that's not okay at all. What I will say though is that Destin Daniel Cretton brought filmmaking back to Spider-Man that I haven't seen in a very long time, because I feel John Watts, again, I'm sure he's a lovely guy. He does not deserve any hate. But if I'm talking as a critic, there he is. There's CEO. As a filmmaker, I feel like he's very much someone that was just hired as a company man. And just because, again, like when you look at, like, as much as No Way Home is such a tremendous story, the directing and the tone of it, there's nothing that stands out of it. It kind of goes back to some of the earlier problems that the MCU had, where every movie eventually started feeling like it was just a cookie cutter, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, to the point where I'm like, I can't tell if this is an Ant-Man movie or a shitty Thor movie or like a mediocre Guardians of the Galaxy sequel. So this is the first time I'm like, okay. I mean, I still hate it because by the time when I saw the film on the second time, the moment I came out of the theater, I'm like, what do you mean they canceled Wonder Man? Like, this is not how you punish talent. But I can discuss that later. But I'm like,
we will.
Good. I know. I mean, there has to be a reason you're wearing that shirt. Unless you're Kal-El, you're Wonder Woman now. Like, you're the Gal Gadot's replacement.
Andy, no.
But yeah, no, this
We got enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Feel the dial. Give me the stone.
We don't talk about Wonder Woman 2, okay? We don't talk about Wonder Woman 2.
There never was a Wonder Woman 2.
Max, give me the stone.
Yeah. We never had a real actress besides Linda Carter play Wonder Woman.
Oh.
We love Linda Carter in this house.
Yes, we do. Linda
podcast.
Carter is great.
But yeah, with they did with Spider-Man, by both having Tom Holland way more involved creatively, having Destin, and the choices they make, this is probably one of the best MCU movies of the whole multiverse saga, and that speaks to the fact that I haven't felt something like this probably since No Way Home, Wakanda Forever, Deadpool, Wolverine, and Thunderbolts.
So for me, Andy, it's a couple things. So number one, you and Ray have both praised this film. I'm going to go one step further, Ray Williams. Not only is this, in my opinion, the best of the MCU Tom Holland Spider-Mans, which to me, there hadn't been a bad one. There's been ones I've liked more than others, but there hadn't been a bad one. And my boy, like I told you, Ray, this man's setting up for something we haven't seen before, a double trilogy. Who else in the superhero game got a double trilogy, Ray? It's hard enough to get a trilogy. Ask your man Andrew Garfield. He's still waiting on that third one, Ray Williams. Yeah. But I would say this is not only the best Spider-Man of the MCU. To me, I think it's the second best Spider-Man film ever to Spider-Man 2. Like, I would put this right behind Spider-Man 2. And I think something that both of those films share that I really appreciated in this film is, yes, Peter Parker is alone. Peter Parker is isolated. His only friend, ? Is Frank Castle. And that's not a place you want to be, Ray Williams. But Spider-Man is loved. The whole city of New York loves Spider-Man. And that's something we really haven't seen in these Marvel movies yet, the MCU movies yet to this point. And so, like, I enjoyed seeing Peter on his own. Like, the time skip at the beginning of the movie threw me for a bit of a loop because I was like, oh, we're just skipping their entire college experience. And and we get the little glimpses, like we said, of Peter fighting Scorpion or Peter fighting Tombstone. Shout out to Crondon. Some of these other villains, and then we see his relationship with the police officer, who I was hoping would be Miles Morales' mama, but we can't have everything. We can't have
that was my theory
everything.
too. But she's playing an important Spider-Man character. So
Yes, she is playing an important character from the comics. I think the Jean Grey, like this movie had a lot of moving parts, Andy. You know, we had Rachel's girl Sadie Sink in here as Jean Grey, so that's a big thing. We're introducing, like, we've had mutants before in the MCU, but now we're introducing a proper X person, other than, you know, Hugh Jackman, who was in Deadpool. But this is like the first of these, the new mutants, if you will, Andy.
The new mutants.
So we had Sadie Sink in here as Jean Grey. We had to balance Frank Castle, which we just saw in the Punisher one shot, which is how do we balance that character in this world of Spider-Man? We had Hulk. Like, I think that Hulk fight was really cool. When you had Peter dragging Frank, and Frank is shooting, being drug along by the web, and then Hulk is about to just murderize your boy Peter Parker, and he's like, Hulk, come on, man, you know me, dog. And it's like Hulk would know him because Hulk wasn't there when the spell was enacted. Banner was there, but Hulk wasn't there. And it made me, Andy, it made me want to see what adventures Spider-Man and Hulk have had during those 4 years. Because Hulk is like, oh shit, that's my boy Peter. I'm gonna fall off this building now. No, Hulk did, but not really.
Question though, because I assume, because when I came in, I heard you guys were talking about like how do they control the Hulk and its the inhibitor or whatnot. I would assume that this is the first time in 5 years that Savage Hulk has been out. Like I don't think during these 5 years that, like, obviously Peter has been keeping tabs on Bruce because he's a professor in ESU, but I don't think. I think the only thing that they were leaning into was, I'm trying to remember if it's One More Day or if it's the Brand New Day storyline in the comics where Hulk, because after Civil War, you know, what's his name?
That Mephisto,
yeah. He, he does his spell or whatever, but like Hulk is for some reason one of the few people in the Marvel universe who still remembers.
Yeah, but Banner doesn't remember.
Exactly. So I think that was like what they were leaning into.
Okay.
But like I don't think anything happened in the last 5 years. I think that was the reason why his powers were fritzing, because he had been so isolated from everyone, except for the occasional times I guess he was hanging out with Frank and on Staten Island, whatever the hell that was. But that was my understanding of that. Like that Hulk does still remember, but it's not because they've done anything in the last 5 years. Because because we've seen Mark Ruffalo on She-Hulk after No Way Home.
Yeah.
So we know, and we know he's been controlling the Hulk this whole time.
That's a good take on it, Andy B. And then the last thing, Rachel, I will say, because he had to balance the Hulk, he had to balance the Punisher, he had to balance Jean Grey. But the most important thing, like if this movie doesn't get this right, the movie doesn't get the movie right. And I got to give credit to not only Tom Holland and Daniel on this. You got to give credit to like Zendaya and what she brings to the table. You got to give credit to the rest of the crew. Jacob Batalon as Ned. I think if the sentiment of the film doesn't hit, and the longing of these friends that like Peter knows who these two are because of the letter. MJ knows who she was. Ned, at the end of the movie, I don't feel like Ned has all of his memories back. I think Ned is like, something's familiar about this dude, because I did this handshake with somebody. I didn't just learn this handshake, but I don't know you, man.
That had to be muscle memory because like I was debating with like I was talking to so many people about this movie afterwards, but I was like, is it because oh yeah, she loves it. She's gonna go on the pod and be like, I'm gonna tell you why Spider-Man Brand New Day is not a moral masterpiece, but a Hollywood masterpiece. I can't even do her voice. I don't, fuck her. I asked some
spot on.
Like, is it the reason he remembered is because the spell actually broke because of the muscle memory, or was it because MJ sat in the apartment right as he was about to take off Peter, and he was like, Spider-Man's real name is Peter? So like, and they're obviously like being very ambiguous. But like for me, like, yo, this is a fucking this movie is also a Disney movie. Like, let me have some Disney magic. Like, you know, if a fucking princess can wake up from a poisoned apple by some prince she never even knew and wake up, then come on, let's just use the the handshake beat. I think that breaks it.
Like I think again, when we'll find out later whenever they get back to Peter and Ned and their relationship, Rachel. I think Ned knows that Spider-Man is Peter because he heard MJ say it. I think Ned knows that this weird dude from the party's name is Peter. So this weird dude from the party's name is Peter. That's Spider-Man. I know this handshake that I did with somebody. Did I do this handshake with Pete? So he knows all the pieces, but he doesn't know, like, me and Peter Parker had this relationship back to when we were like little kids. He still doesn't have that memory, I think, at the end of the movie. What was your take?
I think that's accurate. No, my opinion definitely wasn't that he like immediately got all his memories back and he knows exactly who this dude is. It was more like, oh, I'm having like something here, and I think he was starting to put the pieces together because we have him earlier in the movie talking about how, oh, Spider-Man saved me all these times when I was in high school and blah blah blah, and it doesn't make sense. So like, I think he's like you were saying, he's like, oh, Spider-Man's Peter, you're Peter, blah blah blah, I think he's putting things together, and he's like, oh, I used to know someone named Peter. I have a handshake with a guy named Peter. Peter Spider-Man, like something. He's connected the pieces. He's putting it together for him. But I agree with what Andy was saying, that I think this was a very grounded human story in what is still a very fantastical multiverse, and it does obviously have like psychic elements and that kind of stuff. But the story is very much a Peter Parker story, not so much a Spider-Man story. And it feels very grounded in those emotions. And I think that's ultimately why it was such a successful story and why I cried like 3 times.
Speaking of successful, Ray, while we're talking about this, can you bring up the box office numbers for this damn Spider-Man movie? Because Spider-Man,
quite successful.
Peter Parker might not be able to make any real legitimate money, Andy B, but this damn movie made all the money in the world. And I feel like Marvel's, like, I'm not one of those people, Andy or Rachel, that's like Marvel's back or Marvel's dead and like keeps going on that pendulum. To me, I look at the MCU like a sports team. Like, there's years where they're going on this great championship run, it's a great stretch, and then there's years where you got to rebuild, and every rebuild doesn't work, and so you got to see what works, see what doesn't work. But it feels like Marvel is on a bit of a good run of momentum right now. I think Spider-Man helped. I think the Doomsday trailer, I think it was positively received, the first one and the second one. I thought the second one was decent too. So the doom, no pun intended, and gloom that I had or that Brittany Monet was trying to force on me, it was your fault, Brittany, was trying to force on me for Avengers Doomsday. I think Doomsday is going to be all right. Like, it doesn't have to be spectacular. Just don't be bad. And I think Doomsday will be fine.
First of all, Rachel, bless you, because I saw you sneeze, and I want to acknowledge that. I'm not feeling Doomsday.
Oh no, Andy B, you're not feeling Doomsday?
Like, I mean, again, of course I'm going to watch it, and and there's things I'm excited about it. Like, like, of course,
in Infinity Vision.
What the F is that?
It's like every time I keep getting a press release from Disney about it, I'm just like, what the fuck even is this? Is this because y'all couldn't get on? Like
that's
even
exactly
when I'm like,
why. That's all it is.
Like I was writing an article 2 weeks ago or something about it that I had to acknowledge Infinity Vision. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit again? And I go to my email, I'm like, I still don't get it. No, but like, I'm sure Doomsday will make a ton of money.
Yeah.
I
just don't think in quality, I don't think it's going to surpass Brand New Day.
Can I have a hot take here?
Uh-oh.
I think the concept of Doomsday started as them being like, okay, who's a character we can recast Robert Downey Jr. as to bring him back to the universe and make a lot of money from that? And they got Dr. Doom, and then they worked backwards to get a story from there. That's my take.
Because Jonathan Majors messed up everything for all of us.
Wait, Rachel, how was that a hot take?
I don't know. I just felt like it was a hot take.
Andy
I
said
love
that's, that's Andy's
because
take.
I was reading it. I'm like, what is the hot take she's gonna say? But like,
No, I guess that's not too much of a hot take. But I don't know. It feels like they created the end and then created a reason to get there.
I mean, if only we had other black actors in Hollywood that could have taken over for Kang. Like, it's like,
If
Yeah.
only.
The perfect actor was right there the whole time. It's just Kang turns around. I'm back, man. I'm Terrence Howard, Kang the Conqueror, man. Come on, Andy. Come on, Andy.
listen. I mean, I want him back as War Machine.
I'm
So
Kang
like,
the Conqueror, man.
Terrence Howard is my War
Kang,
Machine.
man.
So
Yes,
yes.
That's a hot take Andy and I share. Like we love Don Cheadle, but I think Terrence Howard's roadie is better than Don Cheadle's roadie.
We
No,
I know he's
you and
I
me,
like him.
Andy. You speaking French now, sir?
Like a French actor. No, but like, I love Don Cheadle, but like I've never. When I watch Iron Man 1, I see Tony and Rhodey as equal partners. They're allies. They're partners.
Buddies.
They're buddies. Like there's a mutual respect there. But when Don Cheadle came in, like I feel he is just a sidekick. Like I cannot take him seriously at all. His suit is always being compromised in one way or the other. I just like he just feels flat to me in the way that maybe it's not his performance, maybe it's the way they're writing him. But I'm like,
Yeah.
if you were able to write Terrence Howard good material in the first Iron Man movie, like I don't know, it's just like I get some actors like they had the right writing, they had the right writing and the right actor at the time, and now they have a good a right actor, but bad writing as all. Like, I mean, like when's the last time we heard anything about Armor Wars? That's never gonna happen.
That's
but
never
like,
happening.
but yeah, like I don't know, I think Rachel is correct that it was definitely like I mean, obviously they spent like a year trying to be like, okay, we need to get rid of Kang, we need to bring in Doctor Doom. How do we do and convince Robert? But like the fact that every time these actors have talked about filming, what's up, Kat? Every time they talk about filming, they're like, we don't have a complete script. I'm like, y'all, this is not how films should be made. Like, this is like, you all need to stop talking about this damn script or scripts at this point, because there's like, I don't want an Avengers movie where, like, again, I get that they don't want to spoil things, and I promise I will get back to Spiderman after this. I get that they want to spoil things, but the fact is that what are these actors acting in front of? Like, are they just isolated? Like, do they, like, how can they act if they don't have the full context of the whole story, if they're just getting their own stuff? Because like
counterpoint, Andy. Counterpoint though, my friend.
Sure.
Shang-Chi versus Gambit was pretty lit. He finna make a name for himself, Andy B.
Yeah. But that's not because of good writing. That's because of good visuals and good acting.
Yes, I feel like the actors will have to do a lot of heavy lifting to make this work.
Yeah, and
they got to be fair. They do have a lot of great actors in this film.
They do, and that's why I'm like. And the thing that bothers me is that they brought back one of the Avengers writers, I think Christopher McFeely or whatever. And I'm like, we know he can write great stuff. So I'm just like, this is starting to feel like how a DCEU movie was made back in the day. Like, because like the fact that I cannot, like, I saw, like, when I was watching Brand New Day the first time, they were playing the first Doomsday trailer in front of it, and I'm just here going like, fuck, I want this shit to be over. Like, I'm just like, I'm so over, like,
damn,
like I just like
seeing Charles and Magneto didn't get you in your feels, Andy.
I mean, of course, but that's because it's those actors,
right?
But the fact is that we're about to say goodbye to them from this franchise for good. After, I mean, they're likely not going to be back in Secret Wars.
No.
So for me, I'm just sitting here and feeling like the fact that I can't get excited for either of these Avengers movies, and just like, just bring me to the X-Men already. Like, I'm over this, or like bring me more Spider-Man movies. So I'm like, I feel lucky that Daniel Destin Cretton departed the Kang Dynasty for Brand New Day, because look what we got. So
yeah, he's on a roll now. Like, everybody loves season 1 of Wonder Man, or the only season of Wonder Man. Spider-Man was a hit, both commercially and critically. What were those numbers, Ray, as of now?
So domestically, it has earned $891 million so far.
Phew.
Poised to become only the second movie before inflation is adjusted. Only poised to become only the second movie to cross the $900 million mark after the Star Wars The Force Awakens, and worldwide it has totaled over 2 billion with a B billion dollars.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money
Closing
right
film
there.
of the highest grossing film of the year.
Yeah,
Put it
just
all
made
on
slightly more than
vacation.
Supergirl.
Slightly. Okay.
Slightly, Ray, just a little bit more.
John
out to
insults me
Kara.
regularly by presence. Okay,
Yeah,
that's not cool.
We love Kara.
Yeah.
But I think when you kind of, because you have to look at this movie as a singular piece of art, but you also kind of have to put it in the context of the Marvel Disney franchise of it all. I think that like this was Tom Holland's coming out party, because if you look at the first 3 MCU Spider-Man movies, they're all Spider-Man movies, but it's like he has a chaperone in each of them. In the first one, it's Tony Stark. In the second one, you've got Nick Fury as the chaperone, and
And
Talos
Mysterio.
Yep, as a chaperone. In the third one, he's got his Spider Bros as chaperones. In this one, yes, you have Hulk
and Doctor Strange.
and Doctor Strange, yeah. And then in this one, even though you have Hulk and Frank and Jean Grey, it's fully his movie.
Yeah.
It's fully Peter's movie, and just the stuff with the mutation, the question about like, Peter Parker literally gave the government a tool to enslave mutants unwittingly. Like that's gonna come back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it's even the mask has an inhibitor chip on it.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
It inhibits Andy from eating more popcorn.
Wait. Oh, there was no popcorn in this. I just threw it out. I'm not eating shit from this. Yeah, no, but I remember when I was taking it on the bus home, I was just kind of like, oh, this is real cool. And I'm looking like a freaking nerd on the bus, and I'm like, the fuck is this? Oh, it's the thing. I'm like, what was I gonna say? One thing, because I kind of want to get all your thoughts on this, because it links into what Nate was saying, is that as a Spider-Man movie, as a Peter Parker movie like this, it nails it on all points. But if we're looking at the larger universe, because like that Sony, Disney, Marvel of it all, we always know that these deals that they make is that they always be, that one of the conditions that they have to agree to make these crossover movies happen, crossover these films between these two studios, is that they have access to like some of the Marvel library, and obviously Jean Grey became that player. Again, I don't think some people are saying, oh, Jean Grey was forced into the story. No, she's the best thing that has happened to this movie. But the fact is that this time,
Andy, before you finish that thought, love Sadie Sink. I was not familiar with her game, but there was one thing where I was like, really, Jean? Really? I think Ray might know where I'm going with this.
I know. When
Andy probably knows too.
Yeah,
because Jean was hopping into all of these people's bodies, as we saw in the movie, Rachel, and using them to get to Peter Parker, and everybody sounded like themselves. And then she hopped into this one young fella on the street and like, "Hey, yo, Spider-Man, what's good, B?" I'm like, Jean Grey, if you don't stop it, ma'am.
Yeah,
our culture is not a costume.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, like even like this is what's so funny. It's like because someone reminded me like weeks ago, like, and the fact that the Flash season 4 got it right and not Brand New Day. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, remember when the Thinker took over Brainwave, whatever his name was, like who was a black, who was a black man. He didn't put on a black scent. He didn't put on Aquafina out of nowhere. And I'm like. I had to go. I had to okay, go into Netflix, and I'm like putting on the Flash because it's been a moment since season 4, and I'm like, oh no. Even like freaking Flash season 4, which is known to be one of the messiest seasons of all time.
Yes,
they got it right somehow, and
yo, Spider-Man, what's good, B?
I mean, I don't want to defend them, but
Yeah, as the one white woman on this podcast, be careful.
I just feel like it was slightly different because she was trying to make Spider-Man feel like he wasn't initially getting that it was her. She was kind of like, she was originally trying to convince him that it was the normal dude, not her.
And then
Kinda
didn't she?
throw him
Wasn't that
off,
the guy
yeah.
she made walk into traffic?
No, that was a different guy.
That was a different guy. Gene was a menace.
She was a menace.
I
will say that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hope that it was just an oversight. But also because that actor, that dude, he was so fucking charismatic. Like I love it. Like
Yes, he
because,
blew up off of that one scene.
Yeah, because like he's been on like British talk shows now talking about it. And it's like so like for me, I'm like, I don't think it was one of those things where like they're like we are treating black people as costumes. I'm hoping to God it's not that. Because
that was the one thing where I was like,
really
that was a choice you made, Jean Grey. That was a choice.
Yeah, like I will give her the benefit of the doubt that she's a teenager and she was just like, like she's in his mind, but she's channeling his personality, I guess. So
Nate, that's another thing too. These black Brits keep taking all our jobs.
Oh, we've got something for you, Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa. But yeah, that was my only Jean Grey critique because I thought she was great as an antagonist in the film. And then, like you said, Rachel, when you get the flashbacks and you realize that VMAX is not this MacGuffin, it's the last thing her sister saw before she died. Like I thought there was a lot of emotional weight that Sadie Sink carried.
You're like, oh no, that's actually devastating. She's not a villain. She's just someone trying to find her older sister.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, God damn it. I hate that. I will say, as an overall comment, though, I thought it was interesting how different this New York was than Daredevil's New York, which is, multiverse. But the whole thing with Daredevil's New York was how hostile they are to vigilantes, especially under Wilson Fisk for various reasons. And I really liked how that contrasted with this, like, very open, Spider-Man working with the police department and like that kind of thing of like, oh, everyone loves Spider-Man. And you can argue that everyone in New York loves Daredevil too. Different relationships, but I thought it was interesting how I guess the government and the reigning authorities' relationship with vigilantes was so different in this. And I was like, I pretty much immediately figured, I was like, oh, we're not going to get a Daredevil cameo in this.
Well, he's in.
Like,
well, who here has not seen Born Again season 2?
I think
Ray will watch it next year.
Yeah.
Okay, suit yourself.
Maybe a couple episodes.
Because Matt is in jail.
Yeah.
So,
no, I know.
No, but I mean, like, and like for Braids, so he has contact. Like, and it's so funny because everyone was like assuming that Charlie Cox was just lying when he said like, "I'm not in this movie," and then people were like, "Oh my god!" But he's fighting the hand.
The trailer did want you to believe that Daredevil was going to show up.
Yeah, you
can't trust Charlie Cox, these days. But I was like, no. Once they were establishing the police's relationship with him, I was like, oh, we're not getting a Daredevil cameo. It's not happening.
The one thing I would say that like, if I had any critique about this, like, one of the few things I had a critique of is that, like I am anti-propaganda stories, and the fact that it was when his mutation takes over, and he gets that one cop injured, and I'm like, and I'm sitting there rolling my eyes. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's fine. Shut the fuck up. Like when the detective was like,
matter, Spider-Man.
Not the Blue Lives Matter Spider-Man.
For me, I'm like, why,
the cop, Peter?
Yeah. They're like, you need to leave.
Leaning too much into your spidey senses, which I just thought. I mean, I guess I understand why they used that plot line, but it was kind of random.
No, because Marvel has always been, pro cops, pro military, pro capitalism and everything. So like that's like that is as obvious as day. But it was for me. I'm like, couldn't they have just like it would have felt more impact if it had been like, a random standby, like a random citizen or something, like the people he's actually protecting. Because like, the cops, like, first of all, like, why the fuck were they even driving him? Like, you all really think you're gonna be able to put up with that tail? No, come on, like, you should, like, you were driving around because you're dumb. So, for me, I'm like, even though like it's very clear that this very much takes place after Born Again season 2, after all Mayor Fisk arc is over, whatever. But I'm kind of like, I don't care. I didn't care about cops in Daredevil. I don't do it here either. So for me, I'm like, ugh, of course they're gonna like make us like try to feel bad for, and like she was fine. She was just bleeding a little bit. And, like she was like,
I think if
the
it was
car
the cop Peter had a relationship with, then it hits differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also because
that's somebody that he actually knows and cares about. I think then, because then he's like, oh yeah, I did go too far.
Yeah.
But this random cop is like,
I was like, you could have just been a random bystander. Didn't need to be a cop.
Yeah, that's what I did on the second time I watched it.
Could have been the dude that Jean Grey inhabited earlier. Like, hey, yo, Spider-Man, why'd you hit me, man? Come on, B. That's messed up, Spider-Man.
And cut. Was that all right? Was that all right, Daniel? Was that all right?
Yes, it's like, was that all right, Daniel?
A little bit more urban, Daniel.
They never explained why Peter like stopped being able to sense Jean in people. They kind of just left that hanging. I don't know.
Was that because of the inhibitor?
No. I think when the mutation took over, that's when he couldn't sense her anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was just. I don't know. I feel like that was unexplained.
I think it was my take on it, because like unless it's a massive plot hole, but like the way I was looking at it was that. Because the pivotal moment we have in the film is when she's asking, like, "Are you Peter Parker or are you Spider-Man?" And he
put
said,
that picture back up on the screen, Ray, when my boy said, "I can be both," and then whoop the hand's ass expedition.
And so what I took from that was that whenever the mutation took over, he wasn't being both. He was fully the spider of the Spider-Man, and that's why, like, the reason why he could block Jean was because. When he was both like mentally, spiritually Spider-Man and Peter Parker, that's when, because like if he just tried to get inside, if she tried to get inside, Spider-Man's Spider-Mind, like there's no humanity there. Like look what he was doing. He was nearly killing, that innocent cop, and so like again, I think that's at least how I interpreted it. But again, like Rachel, it could very much be a plot hole. But like, although I just love this movie so much, I'm just like I want to give them as much benefit of the doubt as possible. Despite some of its issues.
It's funny because when you look at a lot of the recent Marvel movies, they have like a lot of them have ended on the note of friendship or understanding or love is the greatest power of all. We saw it in Captain America, Brave New World. We saw it in Thunderbolts, but I think they did it here better than the other two in that he let Jean, like he allowed Jean to come into his mind, allowed him to see what he went through with Aunt May, and then allowed her to sit in his shoes and sit from where he saw everything. And he's like, yeah, like you're not a monster. You're not somebody that is irredeemable. In fact, by the end of this movie, you're gonna be on that bus going to some mysterious institute up in New York. Well, we'll get back to that later. But yeah, I just loved how Peter's best power is being Peter Parker. And we see it like with Frank. The reason I think, other than the fact that this movie wasn't going to be R-rated, the reason we get a different Frank in this than we got in the Punisher one shot or in Daredevil Born Again is because he's around Peter Parker. And Peter Parker brings out the best in everybody he's around. And so we get Frank. That one of my favorite scenes, Andy, is towards the end of the movie after Frank shoots Peter with this rifle that Brent Chittenden informed us on the Avengers Initiative, Ray, is for shooting armored vehicles. That's what my boy took to the back. Was a round meant for an armored vehicle. And Frank is there at his bedside, and Peter's like, dude, are you crying? And Frank's like, no, man, I'm not crying. And it just no. And then Frank's like, I got a plan to get you out of here. And like Rachel said, he puts on the Spider-Man mask and does this stupid dance in front of the hospital. Yeah. Like that was amazing. Like everybody in this movie had a bit of an arc. Like Peter, of course, had the biggest arc. Frank had an arc. Jean Grey had an arc. Even MJ, Zendaya's character, even she had an arc, you know. And so I thought that they did a lot of work in this movie. It could have felt overcrowded if Daniel and the rest of the crew weren't so intent on not just making a good Spider-Man movie, Andy, but making a good movie. And I think that came through.
Yeah,
I think that because I mean it's funny because you said you kind of felt bad about One Last Kill. Like I loved One Last Kill personally because like you know, because I've said this to Nate many times off here. Like I never really cared deeply for the Punisher TV show, and just because I don't think we need a show like that in today's current political climate. I think Frank Castle as a character, like I think he works great in small dosages. So when I saw One Let's Go, I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I feeling so much for him suddenly? And I felt like it was like, you know, it's also because John Berman literally co-wrote it. And I'm like, it's when these actors get involved that stuff starts getting better. But so that's why I felt transition from One Last Kill. Like it was obviously a very natural setup for him to be in Brand New Day because of what happens in One Last Kill. So for me, I'm like, I don't need Punisher to cuss in order for him to be Punisher. Like he's still violent. He was still kind of like, you know, I'm still gonna kill this, you know, girl. Like, you know, you just go do your thing. Like, oh my, every time they argued, like the funniest bit was for the CCTV footage when like they're standing and arguing, and then Peter jumps away, but Frank still keeps arguing. He's like, then he goes after Peter. I'm like, this is like put John Bernthal in every Spider movie from now on, and
he's excellent.
hopefully with Charlie Cox next time as well. Because I feel like we're gonna get there. We're gonna get
I
there.
hope so.
It's just because I think it's because of the season 2 finale, the way it ended.
Yeah, it was kind of like
It just But I think it's so important. Like we're gonna see, like I think that when we get to phase 7, like there's gonna be a lot more street level because they're like, this is what people are wanting. This is what people are wanting.
Like Spider-Man and Defenders, Andy. Can you imagine it, sir?
With Matt, Luke, Jessica, Colleen Wing.
Spider-Man, 3/4 of the Defenders.
Here's the thing, because Brittany said the same thing, and I get it, but it's like at this point, if I can have Spider-Man with all of them, I'm willing to take Danny. I'm willing to take Danny at this point. Like, okay, just sit in the back, Danny. Just sit in the back.
Destin Danny credit? Yeah, I mean, sure, he can.
You want Daniel Destin Craig to be Danny Rand now? Just direct and act.
I don't know this man. One thing I do want to talk about, this is not on Sadie, this is not on Gene. It's more so on the audience because, again, as someone, you know, listen. I mean, right? I don't know what your history is with the CWDZ shows. So but like me, Rachel, and Nate, we know shippers too well at this point. And the fact that, because I want people to put respect to Zendaya's name and to MJ name. Like, listen, like, I don't care. I don't give two flying I don't give two flying fucks that her name is Michelle Jones. This is the MJ of Marvel Comics in the MCU. She is black, she is Zendaya, and she's fucking phenomenal. But the fact that the moment Peter Parker was breathing around a white woman in this movie, they're like, oh my god, the blonde neighbor must be Gwen Stacy. Oh my god, they're so gonna be together. Oh my god, when Peter was like, well, you're not alone, you got me. Like, first of all, Peter Parker is we have her attorney. She can like remind you all that a teenager and an adult being together is not legal. It is perverse. It is P. Diddy level shit. We're not gonna do it in the MCU.
Do you hear that, Logan? Do you hear that?
So for me, like, I've had to argue with so many people online who are like insisting that, you know, no, she's a young adult. Like, no, Frank literally says in the movie that he's a teenager. Sadie's performance and the writing for Jean is of a teenager because Sarah is the bigger sister that she lost. And, you know, and the reason why Jean, again, black scent aside, the reason Jean gets away with so much is because this is a teenager.
Man, I'm just a teenager, B.
She was like, I love the blacks. She's gonna like accidentally say that in the next movie. She's like, Bishop, I love the blacks. I got them. I roll with them. Like I was like I'm not racist. I used to be inside a black man's mind. So, but what I hate is that this portion of the fandom who I'm not even gonna call real fans because they're just racist, have tried everything to erase Zendaya and her MJ. Because again, we saw with Candace and Iris, we saw with Javicia and Batwoman. It's a fucking miracle that the Pierce sister never had to deal with half of this reception online, because they're like, well, they were always black in the comics. I guess I have to accept. Like, no, you accept all black people. Even if you turn a white character into a black character, you don't go to all these lengths to erase.
That was poor timing on your part, Ray, but an excellent picture.
Poor timing, Ray, but no,
Hey, yo, Spider-Man, listen to Andy. He's bringing up some good points, B.
Yeah, so it's like, I am tired that that there was so many attempts, because there were people who were like, I don't want MJ to come back. I don't want Ned to come back. It's like, we need, those are the two most emotional components of Peter's entire story. Yeah, listen, I would love to see him meet at some point like a Harry Osborn or a Gwen Stacy or a Felicia Hardy or something. But we can have them. We can have them with all of them. Like, did y'all not see 5-minute animated series? Do you know how many fucking women were in that show? Like, Liz Allen was there. We had Deborah. We had Felicia. We had all of them. So the fact is that you're all doing this because you cannot accept that Peter Parker in the MCU, he will never be with a white woman. He loves because that's the thing. Like, even with Charlie Cox's Daredevil, before they messed it up, like the women we were with before, women of color. So again, it's like some people either need to accept the fact that this is. And
spoiler alert: Tom Holland not only is the first on the call sheet, but he's also involved in the production of these films. He ain't getting rid of his wife.
Exactly.
Right? Literally, they're so endgame. The actors are married.
Well, see, then that's what they're going to be like. Well, it's nepotism. Like, she's only like, they were not even married when they did Homecoming.
They got cast before they were dating. Like, come on, y'all.
And also, have you all seen, Zendaya is one of the generation's finest actors of our time. She's done she's so much, say what you will about how they write MJ and the direction they give her. Like, that can be a complete separate issue, even to the fact that I think that this is the best MJ we've ever had live action, because all that Kirsten Dunst was doing in those fucking movies was just scream and be a douche. So again, but
no offense to Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, and no, we love her. Again, that's writing, that's directing's fault.
Yes.
Again, I never put it on the actors unless they are purposely bringing those bad qualities to their performance.
Just compare MJ from Homecoming, where we meet her, where she's this weird, quirky girl at Peter's high school, and then go and pull up the clip of her reading that letter to Peter Parker in Brand New Day. And you just see the growth in this character, not only in the character, but in Zendaya's understanding of who this character is. And so it's like, anybody that has any fault with the character, it's only due to superficial issues or superficial biases, because she kills it every film. She's killed it.
Yeah. No, she did fantastic here. She's always done fantastic. I think she's a fantastic actor. It didn't even I'm sure you're correct about the shippers, Andy, but it didn't even occur to me until you brought it up, because they're just so.
The reason why it doesn't have to occur to you, Rachel, is because you're not a racist piece of shit. You love love.
Why would they ship that?
Here's the thing. So, even though she's the only white person on this podcast, one of the things I've always loved about Rachel, from the moment I met her as a listener to becoming friends, to becoming colleagues, to her becoming my attorney, because she is.
Everyone needs an attorney.
She has always been so socially aware. She is aware of the world she lives in. She's aware of the oppression that all of us people of color and people of the LGBT community are going through. And she also, if there's something she doesn't know, she listens and listens to hear people's experiences. So that's what, for you, you feeling sad about how Peter MJ's dynamic went, is because you're not looking at it as oh my god, he is with black MJ, or he's you're not criticizing from that point of view. You're looking at it as two characters who have all this history that we Homecoming that came out in 2017.
No, not that far, but it was 2015 or something. Yeah, 2015.
Civil War was 2016, and 2017 was Homecoming. So almost a full decade. We watched these characters and actors grow up. And the matter of fact is that, like, we know this bullshit is gonna always be out there with the races and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that we're not gonna call them out because I'm like, the moment he was just breeding around one white woman neighbor, you all were like, "Oh my god, let him fuck already!" I'm like, y'all must be so desperate. If you want that, just go write your fanfiction. And also, there are comics where Peter and Gwen end up together. Like, I loved Peter and Gwen in the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
They were
But
great.
it's not because like it's not because those two white vanillas were white. It was because it was a good love story, good performance, and that's the same thing with Thomas and Thea as these characters. And the fact that like, but the fact that we've now reached a point that they are willing to ship him with a teenage girl, I'm like, you are demented. You're creepy. And people are saying like, oh well, Kevin Feige. There's a clip of him saying that they're around the same age. Like, she is a teenager. And he's gonna be a Cyclops, so fuck you. But either way, like I felt that needed to be called out because it's disgusting to the point where like the levels of racism that exist with people that like not only are you so uneducated and so biased against a white man being with a black woman that you're willing to have him be with a white woman who is not of age. I'm like, this is where we all have reached. Fuck off.
Gross.
So let's go around the horn one last time because I think we're all in agreement that we really enjoyed this movie. We want to see more from this time. I told you, Ray, he the GOAT, man. Who else got a double trilogy, Ray? Nobody, Ray. Tom Holland. Look, I knew it was gonna happen before this movie, but the fact that the next two movies could be terrible, which I don't think they will be. But the money that this movie made paid for those next two movies, Ray Williams, for this double trilogy, But what was everybody's overall thoughts on the picture? And I know Ray said we weren't gonna like rank them, but just kind of where would you put this movie amongst either the Spider-Man MCU movies or the MCU in general? And we can start with Rachel.
All right, so yeah, I've said a lot already. Overall, I think it was a damn good movie. I think everyone did a really good job. I didn't specifically highlight Sadie, but I am consistently blown away with her acting in every role she is in. She's fantastic. Honestly, talented beyond her years. I think she did a fantastic job here, portraying a very
ginger representation. There you go.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I think everyone did a great job. I think it was very well written. I think Tom Holland, blew it out of the park with his performance. He was fantastic. Really, really good. Ranking in the MCU overall, because I haven't seen the Spider-Man movies.
We know you're not a Marvel, Rachel.
I'm not a Marvel. It's true. The Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I would definitely put it in the so many fucking MCU movies. I would definitely put it in the upper part. Maybe top, more than top quarter, maybe like top 10th, I'd say. It's pretty far up there.
Okay.
It was a damn good movie when the MCU has turned out some not so good ones. So that's
Ray Williams, what are your thoughts about Spider-Man Brand New Day? It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I thought it was a great time. I think Tom Holland brought it to a new level, to kind of piggyback you a little bit. But
and then Sadie Sink, Jean Grey jumped back into that one dude's head and was like, "I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level." Hey, yo, Spider-Man, you heard this ASAP? You heard this ASAP Ferg, Spider-Man? Like, Jean, stop it.
But yeah, I thought it was a great movie, to echo all of you guys' sentiments. Like I said, I put it up there as far as like MCU Spider-Mans go. I know quite a few of you put it as the best one. I just think just the enormity and the stakes on the line with No Way Home, that's the only reason why I kind of hold that just slightly above this one. But like you said, I think this one had a lot of heart to it. I think we saw, like you said, Nate, I think for once in the MCU, we saw just Peter Parker be himself. and kind of like what he had to deal with. And also, I finally noticed his Brooklyn accent. So
Yes,
he
yes.
did that. It was on thick in this one. Um, so yeah, I think it was a great movie, and yeah, I look forward to seeing Spider-Man appear again soon. Spider-Man will return, so I'm looking forward.
Okay, Andy B.
Okay, yeah. So
Final thoughts about Spider-Man.
I wrote down all the Spider-Man movies that I ranked.
Okay.
Final thoughts. Final thoughts. This was a a rebirth that Spider-Man needed in a very long time because we have great actors. We have the technology, but we also have the potential. And but the fact is that with John Watts, we just couldn't reach it. Like again, for the last time, nobody should go and harass him in the comments. It's horrible. It's not
Why are they
respectful.
harassing John Watts, Andy B?
Because they feel that when they compared it what Daniel did, they feel like John was holding Spider-Man back a lot with, like again, like people talk about like cinematography, they talk about flavor, they talk about tone, they talk about execution, and it's I can see to some point, but you don't harass the poor man. Like,
correct.
So
like John Watts was doing his job, like, and those movies weren't bad. They just weren't what this was, in my opinion.
Exactly. Like it's like, but if you think about it this way, like it's one thing if when you look at it as like how did he hold up to the Raimi movies or to the Spider-Verse movies? Like those movies, and I even like listen, you will know about my ranking very soon. Like Mark Webb even, they are filmmakers. Those are filmmaking teams that bring something new and fresh to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No matter what. The problem with it is because there was so much damage control happening with Spider-Man after they made Spider-Man 2, the Sony leaks, Amy Pascal being. I love how people just forgotten that she's, racist. But it is what it is. But the matter of fact is that Daniel Distincredon, despite what happened to Wonder Man, which is like fucking disgraceful, and and I cannot wait to talk to you guys about this. He brought a new era that we deserve to see in 2026, especially after like as much as No Way Home was like. For the longest time, up until this year, was my favorite MCU movie of the multiverse saga so far. Despite it being made during the pandemic and all these things, like that set the scale on such a high level that it's like you need to make something that will make me feel something. So, I want to see more Kron in his tombstone. Because man, was he. And this is why I have to call out Sony again, because this is the year when Tombstone he's just thriving in live action, because not only do we have Tombstone in Brand New Day, we had him in Spider Noir from the same studio, but yet one is not quite like the other. Because I mean, what is one of the famous things we know about Tombstone from the comics? What is it, Nate?
You mean his albinism?
Spider Noir. I don't know what that makeup idea and design was. That's not Tombstone. And I'm like, if you can cast Kron, then you could have cast another actor for that show to play Tombstone.
Yes, there are great albino actors out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Crondon being one of them.
Yeah, and because it was thinking because what was so funny going to this movie was that people were like, if this is the kind of level he brought to Black Lightning, imagine what he's going to do as Tombstone. I'm like, he is not going to go and call Peter Parker.
That'd be something.
I can't say any of it because
that's why Miles Morales wasn't in this movie, because Tombstone would have been like, you nappy-headed wall crawler. Like, sir, did Jean Grey take over your mind too? What is going on?
I guess the only thing I could quote was when he said to look at that.
Yes.
Looks fantastic.
I hope we get more of him. Like, they should bring him back for this. Like, even if it's just as the first act villain that Peter Parker arrests, I think they should bring him back for the next one.
I think if we don't see him against Kingpin, I think Tombstone would be a great street level villain for the Spidey sequel trilogy. But yeah, my ranking is okay. So again, I'm not gonna do it, as terms of MCU movies because we don't have that time. But this is just all the Spider-Man movies, that have existed. So number
Okay.
one,
Madam Web.
Spider-Man 2. No,
Number 2, it's Morbin time. Number 3, Craven. And you got some hot takes.
no, don't you be putting those words in my mouth. So number one is Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Spider-Man 2, again, I grew up with one of those movies being one of the reasons why I love superhero cinema. Period. Number 2, Brand New Day. Number 3, hopefully Ray will appreciate this. No Way Home. Number 4, now everyone's gonna hate me. The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Because so I said this earlier. Andrew is my Spidey because that
Okay.
everything I'd read in comics and I watched in animation to that point. By 2012, I was graduating high school and I, also just finished the Brian Michael Bendis run of Ultimate Spider-Man. It's an amazing run. If there's any reason to describe it as shitty Marvel Unlimited ad, that's one of them. And Andrew channeled everything that I grew up with as Spider-Man. He didn't get the best movies, but I think his movie is the first best origin story movie, even better than Sam Raimi's first movie. Number 5, Into the Spider-Verse, because it shows you, it taught us that one, Miles Morales matters, his story matters, and he is fucking Spider-Man. And animation deserves to be on the fucking big screen. I'm sick and tired of these directed DVD movies. End of it. Number 6, Sam Raimi's first Spider-Man movie. Number 7, I just realized I'm going to get murdered for this by some people. I put Across the Spider-Verse at number 7. And there's just something, as I've rewatched it over the last few years, I'm just like, the stakes are higher. I can see all the hard work that went into it. There's just something that it doesn't live up to in terms of the other movies that come before it. Number 8, Far From Home. Number 9, Spider-Man 3. Number 10, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And number 1, Homecoming. Number 11, Homecoming.
Oh, wow. Okay. A solid list. I'd have Homecoming a little higher. I think I'd have Spider-Man 3 last. Even though that does have one of the greatest haters in the history of movies, my boy in the church, Topher Grace, he's not praying to beat Spider-Man Ray. He's not praying for his own well-being. God, will you please kill Spider-Man? That's a level of hate that we have not seen in the cinema to date.
To shout out to my friend Legend V, I hated that Spider-Man 3 put Sam Raimi in director's jail. When I think there's definitely issues with Spider-Man 3, but in comparison to some of the things that came later, especially in this freaking genre that is always exploding comic book and superhero movies, I'm like, I think we were a little bit too harsh on Sam Raimi. And if anything, the reason that Venom ruined that movie is because Sony forced him. Because I was like, I fuck with the Sandman story. That's a great arc. I'm like, if that had been the only threat and the only villain, that movie would have been solid.
Yes. And I think that list just goes to show you, out of all the superheroes, Spider-Man's got the best track record, because you can kind of debate where you put which movies, but even Spider-Man 3, I would rather watch that over a lot of other superhero movies. There's rarely been a terrible outright, I can't watch this Spider-Man movie, except for the movies that don't have Spider-Man. It's Morbin time.
Which is valid.
Morbin time.
I hated Morbius. Fuck no. No, I don't. I never.
My watch is always set to Morbin time.
No. Do you see a watch on these wrists? No. And I would definitely not set it for freaking Morbius. The only thing I liked about the Sonyverse was the Venom movies. Nate, did he freeze?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
I think it's frozen, yeah.
he's just so shook.
Yeah,
But,
the Venoms were okay. The Venoms were fun.
Nate, you froze for like a good 30 seconds.
So Andy gave us a great list. Like I said, I agree with the bulk of that list. I think for me, my last thoughts on Brand New Day is the mutation, if you will, Rachel, that this series needed. Because like I said, I didn't have any real problems with the Watts movies. Like I thought it was a clever tell an origin story over 3 films. Because by the time we leave him in No Way Home, he's the broke-ass Spider-Man from the comics that everybody loves. He's like the down on his luck Peter Parker that everybody loves. And, you know, that gives the next Peter Parker for him. And so I thought Daniel did a great job. Tom did a great job. Zendaya is great as always. That was in this film came to play. Even the random dude that Gene took over for like 2 seconds. Like, hey, yo, Spider-Man guy.
And there he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Can you all hear this fan, by the way?
No.
I cannot.
Okay, thank God, because I needed some air.
Andy, you're literally jackhammering behind my apartment earlier, so no, your fan is good.
Okay. Well, your cat is cute. My fan is not. But no, no. Listen, like I love the one thing I had wished for, but I understand why they couldn't do it. Was like when they were talking about Spider-Man mutating, I really thought we were gonna get a Man Spider live action adaptation finally. But I'm like, I agree with Tom Holland. This film, we do want kids to be able to see this movie, so I get it. So. Nathaniel Milton, are you fine? Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Hello, Nate. Hello.
I can hear you. I don't know if anyone else can.
No, I'm talking. I'm trying to get Nate to respond, but I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think he can hear us.
I think he's frozen again.
Also, the soundtrack of Brand New Day was like so on point that I'm like, I'm so glad we're like done with like, because for some reason like John Watts has this like obsession with John Hughes movies. So like there was all these songs that kind of like was supposed to reflect that theme in that original trilogy. But I'm like, it doesn't really fit here. But here I'm like, Peter's he's no teenager anymore. He's an adult. He's a young adult. Like I like the flow that's going on here. So
yeah, no, it was really good.
And I like the for this one I like the credit roll where it wasn't like the animation of a Spider-Man or it wasn't like these different things happening with graphics and stuff. It was just them showing the city of New York. So that was pretty
yeah.
dope.
While we wait for Nate to come back, let me ask you this: how did it feel like the fact that this was the first time in all Tom Holland's movies that this felt that New York was a character finally? You know, again, like to Rachel's point earlier, I mean, even though we know it's the same Earth, it's the same universe, but like New York in Spider-Man versus New York in every other Marvel product, MCU product, have felt so like not in sync at all. And this time, I'm like, oh, this does feel like the New York I just saw on Daredevil Born Again and in Punisher.
Yeah,
and it feels like a character this time because again, not only are they rooting for him and they're actually appreciating him, but like it feels like New York is finding a Like, did you guys also appreciate that aspect compared to what you've seen in the original trilogy of Spider-Man?
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't seen the original movies. Well, I saw Home, but I always appreciate New York as a character, and I think it's in a good Spider-Man movie, it's like ever present that it's in New York City because it's such a good part of his character. It felt very present in this last season of Daredevil too. So I was glad that carried over.
Yeah, like we got crumbs in the Watch trilogy, like do a flip Spider-Man or when he was out at the bodega, stuff like that. But this was fully immersed. And that's why I like that they did the 4-year time skip at the beginning of the film. And it's like, we didn't see all of the work that Spider-Man has done in the past 4 years, but whatever he's done, he's really become a part of the fabric of this version of New York and the MCU. And so, yeah, like I want to see more of Spider-Man doing street level Spider-Man things in addition to whatever he does in the big Avengers movies, because that's always been a part of Spider-Man. Like, again, one of the reasons why Spider-Man 2 is always my favorite movie is when that train scene. It's like, and the mask is off, Ray, and he on the train. And they're like, he's just a kid, even though he was like 35 at the time. It's okay. Like, and the little kids are like, we won't tell Spider-Man. We won't tell who you are. And then there's one dude in the back of the train. Hey, yo, Spider-Man, we ain't gonna tell B. Like, Gene, how did you get this?
Guys, I just realized because of No Way Home, every person on that train doesn't know Peter Parker's Spider-Man anymore. Oh my God.
He's just a kid.
No, they're not my son.
Yes.
I love like that was the thing. Even in as goofy as the trilogy could sometimes get, New York citizens were characters.
Yes.
They stood, like in the first Spider-Man movie where they're like, as soon as Green Goblin is like trying to like really mess with Spider-Man, everyone just starts throwing shit at him. He's like, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us, you mess with him, you mess with New York. And I'm like, this is how you come together as a city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good to see in this one, man. And so I would say, kind of wrapping up my thoughts on Brand New Day, Rach. And I mentioned this to Brent and Brittany when we did the Avengers initiative. I feel like this to me stands with those films like a Black Panther for different reasons. Like, I think you got the big blockbuster spectacle things like Infinity War and Endgame, which I kind of put in their own category. But in terms of a solo story, I would rank this near the top, just under Captain America Winter Soldier, just under Black Panther, but it's in the conversation for me. I felt it was that good.
Yeah, no, I agree. It feels like a very grounded human story in a way that Black Panther did as well.
So why the fuck did you take Wonder Man from us, Marvel and Disney? What the fuck?
Speaking of grounded, Ray Williams. Ray Williams is the #1 Wonder Man fan on this podcast, and Ray, I'm sure, was heartbroken to learn that not only his Wonder Man season 2, which was just greenlit, now canceled, grand opening, grand closing, but there's other Marvel projects like Blade that have apparently been put to rest. And Ironheart, we don't know the status of Ironheart. Armor Wars, as Andy mentioned, is probably gone for good. What do all these shows have in common, Ray? I wonder.
Color me,
man.
It makes you wonder, man.
Wonder, man.
I wonder what's coloring their opinions over there.
What is coloring their opinions? Hey, yo, Kevin Feige, B, what's up with this, man?
So I'm
great, y'all.
Could you imagine Kevin Feige pulling up and just talking like with a black accent? He's like, listen, if Aquafina can do it, then I could do it too. For people who want to reference, Google Aquafina plus black accent, and you understand why she doesn't deserve the success she has, because she fight of black culture and in a very racist way, and that's not okay.
Yes. What also is not okay is canceling a show that you just greenlit because. So first of all, you didn't have faith in the show in the first place. Second of all,
they dumped all the episodes.
Dumped all the episodes when the show outperformed your expectation and actually had critical and just audience love. You greenlit it.
What's
and
that?
Then you
Emmy
took
nomination?
it back. Emmy nominations.
Mm-hmm.
You took it back, and you're like, no, we're not going to do that after all. So let's start with Ray, because Ray is the number one. Ray was the one that put me on the Wonder Man, y'all. Ray.
Oh, you were gonna show for your fellow black superhero Nate.
I wasn't gonna watch it, and Ray was like, "You gotta watch this, man." I was like, "All right, Ray, I'm gonna take your word, Ray."
You weren't gonna. Ray, give me 1 second. What the fuck do you mean you weren't gonna watch?
No, the joke is Ray doesn't watch anything, and I had to badger this man into watching Wonder Man, and then he really loved it.
Yes.
Listen, like Ray could be busy. He could be.
Ray
Listen,
is
like,
very busy. Ray is busy,
yeah,
man.
yeah. So can you like quit mocking your producer for just one freaking second? like a dark cloud hanging over Marvel. I mean, not so dark. Not so
I'll say
dark.
it's not that
apparently.
dark.
Yeah,
Not no more.
the skies
What-
are
what-
bright as blue.
Yes, in brightest day and not blackest night. Ray,
Mhm.
what were your thoughts about the cancellation of Wonder Man, brother?
Yeah, like you said, Nate, it's like it outperformed all expectations, even under the circumstances, like you mentioned, Andy, it being dropped all at once instead of once a week, like they've been doing with all their other series.
No. With all the other Black series, because
Hmm.
Ironheart, they aired over 2 weeks. Eyes of Wakanda, they just dropped all those four mini episodes on Disney Plus in August. Like they are doing this specifically to Black led project, but in general, characters of color.
Yeah.
Echo did the same thing to Echo.
Yeah. I think Moon Knight is like and Miss Marvel are the only two
Yeah.
ones where he did weekly releases, but it's
Yeah.
because I think Disney is stupid.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I mean, you would like to think that it doesn't matter if the superheroes black, white, blue, green, as long as they bring in green, that they're going to, as long as they're beneficial monetarily or financially, that they're going to continue to push it. But and you would have thought that they would have learned from Black Panther and all the success from those movies. But yeah.
Wait, what's that?
Wow.
What's that? Academy Award nominated
Yep.
Ryan Coogler?
Mm.
Academy Award winning Sinners? Wait, hold on. Wait. We're just breaking news. Breaking news.
and
You have success with your Black talent when you actually let them do
Right.
things.
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I think Mahershala Ali was being interviewed on it, and it with his movie Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother that came out, and when he was asked about it, he was like, Marvel, if they wanted to do Blade, they would have did Blade. They have all the resources. If they really wanted to do it, they would have done it. It was all about what they wanted to do and what they saw would benefit them. So yeah, it just stinks. Again, it's one step forward. We gotta work. We gotta work twice as hard to get half as far.
Not even twice. Not even twice. You like Black artists have to work 10 times as hard. Like, listen, I will say this. Like, even as a brown man myself, I would say us brown folks, we have it. I felt in a lot of ways in this genre. If we just, like Hollywood as a whole, that's a whole different discussion for a different podcast for a very different day. But in this genre, us brown folks have had at least like half as easy to get things greenlit as opposed to what I have to see happen to you guys, to Black men and women who have. There are so many amazing characters based on having to fight this hard. It's like Blade was one of the first modern superhero movies after Batman and Robin fucked us all over. Like
Blade helped save Marvel.
Yep.
Yes. And people didn't even know it was a Marvel movie. They were just like, what is this vampire shit about? And like Wesley Snipes brought it. So like I think that to like I respect what you're saying, Ray, but like I think that you should call them out for what it is. It's 10 times as hard for Black stories, Black artists, Black creatives to get the respect, the funding, and the platforms that their white counterparts and even other marginalized communities get. Because like, how do you fumble the bag so hard when
like no offense. I love Ryan Gosling, Rachel. Like Ryan Gosling is probably one of my favorite actors, even though he was a liability at cornerback in Remember the Titans. You should watch it, Ray. But we get a damn Ghost Rider movie with Ryan Gosling, and we don't get a Blade movie.
But brother Nate, you know what Blade and Ghost Rider, those two parts have in common? Famous actor goes up to Kevin Feige and wants to do superhero movie. But Which one is it? But wait a minute. Hold on.
Mm.
This just Ed. Blade didn't even have a director or a writer or a release date when it was announced at Comic-Con. At this year's Comic-Con, they had release window, they had director. Even like this didn't get announced at the panel, like because I got I was covering it for Screen Rant. In the press release I got, they even listed the writer, the screenwriter, who is this writer for Starfighter. Like they're bringing back the entire Starfighter trio for Ghost Rider. But you didn't do it for Mahershala. Like you just used his name to get a premature announcement out there. Like I think, listen, to me he's cut off. I still don't understand how they were going to explain. I mean, they've done this too many times. Like for some reason, Maria Dillard is in Civil War while she's in Luke Cage. For some reason, The Thing and Micro from Punisher are to play with the same dude. So I'm like, the fact that Mahershala was going to come back, he was going to be Blade out of all people. I'm like, but he died in season 1. Like somebody call Shio Hodari up and be like, so what are y'all doing, Luke Cage? Oh, right. He's in the franchise. He's dead. Okay, I see how it is.
And then he became a vampire, Andy. It's simple.
Yeah, sure. So again, even with that in mind, I'm like, but I still want to. This is a great idea. But again, how many directors did he go through? How many scripts had they gone through? How many?
They had the nerve, Rachel. They had the nerve to put a damn post-credit scene teasing Blade in their movie, and they're never going to pay that off.
Of course not. Of course not.
And now Aaron Pierre is John Stewart when he was initially attached to Blade. Again, I can understand. Again, because I was talking to our good friend Clement Bryan. Shout out Clement.
Yes.
I think there's more issues at Disney as opposed to I'm not giving Kevin Feige a pass. Because at the end of the day, what is he? He is a white executive CEO, president of Marvel Studios. He has the power to make some of these things happen. But the fact is that he did the same thing for Ryan Gosling's Ghost Rider that he barely did for Mahershala. And now it's like, it's going to be out in 2028. Filming is likely going to start happening in end of this year, next year. I don't know when, but it's like, there's racism going on, and people always think that racism is only when there's, racist attack or, slurs being made. Like, no, racist can also be how you treat people of color for, what leadership do they get? So one of the things that me and Nate have always talked about is I don't like the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. Nate had to convince me for nearly 3 years to give Malcolm Spellman a chance with Brave New World, because I'm like, well, he didn't get to do all the things that Chio wanted to do. He didn't get to do all the things that Mara Brooke and Salim Akil did with Black Lightning. Why doesn't Malcolm get to do? He's like, Andy, you think you're gonna give a black man full reign to do whatever he wants with a black Captain America movie? Like let's give him a chance. And I'm like, okay.
And you see what happened. They didn't give him full reign in the movie either. They're like, we'll put this Hulk story in your Captain America movie.
Who could have seen this coming?
Who could have seen it coming, Andy?
I was going to say that, then of course we can read this. Ironheart. Who executive produced that show? Who are you all fucking owls? No, like who executive produced? Ironheart. Ryan Coogler. And even then, he didn't get the respect for that. They still dumped it across 2 weeks. 3 episodes per week. And I'm like, of course, your black audience is going to feel that you don't have faith.
And that show's never coming back.
And I love that show. It's one like it was even better than expected, because I loved Riri in Wakanda Forever. But I'm like, when I watched it, I'm like, holy shit, Dominique can act. And she can lead her own stuff. And they did things that I wasn't even expecting them to do with that character. So the fact is that, like Ray said, they have to work harder than their white-led counterparts. I'm done.
Let's go to my white-led counterpart. Rachel, we love you. What are your thoughts on this topic, my friend?
What a transition.
What a transition.
I'm confused as to why they ever made this series if they so clearly did not want to, because everything about how they handled it was like, here, damn, we clearly are not actually interested in pursuing the success of this. We put together a goddamn good cast and a goddamn good story. And it got some really good award nominations and had some really good parts and stuff, but we clearly want nothing to do with this. And we don't understand why you weird people like this show.
Like that Doorman episode alone, Rachel, was some of the best Marvel TV in a while.
It was. And
Ray Williams was saying ding dong for at least a month after that episode aired.
I really hate that it's 2026 and we're still having these conversations, because I have mentioned this before, I used to host the Batwoman podcast, and I'm not going to pretend like that show didn't have its issues. It had its issues, but we came off a really, really strong season 3 with characters that were just really getting into themselves and building up their relationships with each other after we say it was 3 seasons, but it was really only 2 seasons, because the first one was basically a wash. And I was extremely gutted when they decided not to move forward with that series, because the leaps it made in 2 seasons with the primary black cast were truly incredible. Nobody was given that show a chance.
Can I say something, Rachel?
Of course.
Out of the cancellations we had that year, I understood why they gave up on Legends. Batwoman should have been a show that lasted longer than Legends. And then that Javisha got barely 2 seasons, and then that was it.
And like season 3 was so good, and I just
it was
felt
the
like
best season.
It was so good, and I just felt like if any other of the Arrowverse shows that had, or I guess except Black Lightning, if they had a season like that, it would have been
What's the
automatic.
connection? I wonder, man.
Okay.
And then there was Black Lightning, and then there was Naomi, and
yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's not just Marvel problem.
Naomi was probably something that was rushed. That I felt Naomi's story can definitely matter, just not in the CW, because when you read the comic versus then watching whatever the show was, I'm like, I was so tired of Leaves after that season. I'm like, I don't know what this was. And I felt bad for Casey because she's a great actress.
Yes, and Muzanne McCart deserved an Emmy nomination for her wonderful portrayals.
But with Wonder Man, how much longer is Marvel Studios just going to be able to do this without being called out? I mean, until they finally freaking admit that what they're doing is it's racially related. Because other than Ryan Coogler and the Black Panther franchise, what other because I kind of wanted to talk about X-Men at some point with you all. Like they cannot fuck over Storm and that actress, because you already done all this. You took Wonder Man away. You fumbled Blade somehow.
Ironheart, Armor Wars.
How many more?
Like Sam Wilson is fighting for his life right now as Captain America.
I mean, no, because now he has to share a spotlight with Chris Evans. Even if they just say, even if Steve comes by and says, no, I'm not Captain America, you're Captain America. It's like, this audience will take a man in mediocre, beige clothes and be like, yes, my Captain America, fuck Sam Wilson. No black man can
You
be
already
Captain
got
America.
people after Thunderbolts that were like, John should be Captain America. John Walker, of all people, should be Captain America.
Yep. Oh, I saw him. I was like, what happened to Sam?
Yep. And I think that's part of the problem too, Andy. That's part of the conversation, because it is a Marvel thing, but it's bigger than a Marvel thing. It's a Disney thing.
Yeah.
Because if we've seen anything the last 2 or 3 years with Disney's relationship with a certain inhabitant of the White House, Disney has caved to the pressure time and time again, whether it's kicking Jimmy Kimmel off the air, whether it's capitulating to Trump's FCC. Like Disney has shown very little spine in some of these political waters. And so a lot of their content has felt very, we're going to try to play the middle road, Rachel. We're going to try to be neutral. And the thing is, you can't be like, it's one thing if there were two rational arguments, like this is Civil War with Cap and Steve, Cap and Tony. And you can understand the reason for both men's arguments. You can play neutral and be like, well, I see both sides, Ray. There is no both sides with this particular administration. You're either on the side of history and the side of right, or you're a bootlicker for what this administration is doing. And unfortunately, Disney has bent the knee time and time again. And I feel like it's coming through in their art now, Andy. And so when you see Marvel we're not trying to offend anybody. It's like, that's comics have always been political, Andy B. Yep. Comics have always made a statement. And some of Marvel's
the X-Men has always been woke. It wasn't.
Yes, the X-Men have always been woke.
When people were like, X-Men 97 made it woke, I'm like, have you all like really been this moronic? When you claim that you love the X-Men animated series and you didn't think that was woke, like y'all must like your brain cells must be at a low capacity than I even gave you credit for, because holy shit, like that is just ridiculous to me. So for me, like the idea that we again, the thing is that they're not even trying to play the middle ground. It's like, because look, do we remember a certain character in Brave New World that they just insisted had to be in that movie? Even
what's your problem with Danny Ramirez? I thought he was great as the Falcon.
It's not so much a he, more of a she. There was a certain female character that they were like, we gotta have her in this movie. She's so pivotal. Even though people were outraged, but it's because we know we're Disney stats on certain topics. And if you know, you know.
It really makes you wonder, man.
And I just, you know what, James Gunn, just bring Yaya over to us. Let's bring him back to DC.
And that's the sad thing too, because I do feel like you had something like this is the unexpected win, Rachel. Like you said, they were not really promoting this show until it started to take off, and then you saw Wonder Man promotion everywhere, and so it felt like you had this hit on your hands that doesn't cost very much compared to some of their other superhero shows. And it's like,
Secret Invasion.
No. Yes, compared to Secret Invasion, right, which nobody liked. Like even the most heartfelt Marvel fan is like, nah, that was trash, cuz. But you have Wonder Man, which has the critical buzz, and people like it, and it's different, and it's fresh. And again, it's not an expensive show to make. And Yaya is down for it, and Sir Ben Kingsley is down for it, and you're like, yes, let's do a second season. And then you're like, on second thought, no.
Oh, it's okay. It's like, we'll take your money. We're not going to respect you as people, but we'll take your money.
They did it on the week that brand new they did it on opening day. Despite all the box office buzz that we had already known had to come in, they did it on opening day. Like, because when Ray had an article, but when Ray had that article, I'm like, I hate the fact that exclusive came from my friend Joe at Variety, who is a phenomenal reporter. But the fact that Marvel did this, and Marvel and Disney did this, the week when Destin Daniel Cretton brought them a freaking $2 billion success. Yes, shared it with Sony. I get it, but like, still, you did it on opening day. So you're it's this offense on so many levels that I'm just like, there's a reason why I can root for Marvel and Disney.
Like Yaya had to post about his Emmy nomination and speak about the cancellation of the show in the same post. Like, that's crazy. I was already rooting for him. Now I hope he wins, just to spite Disney.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And I hope he goes up on stage and he's like, F that punk ass mouse. But don't do that, Yaya. Don't burn your bridges, Yaya.
Nah, don't do that for me.
They may come back calling one day. Don't burn your bridges. But yeah, this is a sad thing, man. Especially, because the last thing we're gonna talk about is Green Lantern or Lanterns. But like when I see, especially episode 3, like what can be possible when you allow black creatives to cook. And it's like, yes, everybody involved with Wonder Man was not black, but when you allow these creators to cook and you don't step on their toes and you don't micromanage everything from a studio level, you can make something that's really cool and really different in this superhero space. Because, you know, everybody talks about superhero fatigue and this and that. And it's like, well, that was a breath of fresh air. That's enough of that fresh air. Let's give them some of this stale air. Y'all ready for Morbid Time too? Nobody wants that. Not even Andy, who loved the first.
What do you
Morbid
mean you
Time.
didn't like the Jared Leto movie that we spent millions of dollars on?
Hey, Jared Leto was good in that Master of the Universe movie, but because we couldn't tell it was Jared Leto.
I don't care for him.
No, I don't think anybody does.
I don't think so. I just go back to
not even Andy, who's got Morbius on 4K Blu-ray.
I just go back to the Suicide Squad when he was apparently like pranking the cast, and Viola Davis' husband had to like get out of him, and I'm just like, yeah, that's how I feel about Jared Leto.
Pranking, girl, he sent her a dead rat.
Oh, which is just like weird, unhinged behavior. Like, I'm the Joker, get it, guys? Like, no, you're an actor who's being creepy.
Yeah, and
like, I wouldn't trust Viola Davis.
Acting, guys.
Man married him.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson put it best. You only see people doing method acting when they're playing an asshole.
That's definitely, it's not a coincidence.
I have a degree in theater, and we talked a bit about the perception of method acting, and how much of a load of bullshit it is. Really, the public's perception of it, at least, is just like, no, that's not what that means. That's not what that is.
You don't understand, Rachel. I'm in character. Get it?
No,
but it's like okay, because it's like, I mean, it can work in very rare instances. Like, for example, like, you never heard Heath Ledger harming, the great late.
No, of course not.
He never harmed anyone. He never was. I'm pretty sure he was just like, when he was on set, he just remained in character,
right,
to make his process easier. Or so, as far as we know, again, only he knows fully why he made the choice he made. But you never heard him sending dead rats to his cast members or anything like that.
Exactly. It's never an excuse to just be a bad person.
The best story ever, though, of somebody remaining in character is Wesley Snipes on the set of Blade Trinity when he was beefing with the director, and he put a note on his trailer, and he was like, "Blade doesn't want to talk right now."
In the first person.
And now there's only going to be one Blade.
There's only one, and there only ever will be. Sorry, Mahershala.
I've heard of people like talk in the first person. I ain't know.
No, Wesley Snipes. That's the crazy story, because, and the more you hear about it, though, like Wesley, he was a little bit crazy with it, but he was right, because they did try to steal that movie from him and give it to Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel. Like, that was a backdoor pilot for their movie, and Wesley was like, "You're not stealing my movie from Blade. The movie's name is Blade, not those kids." And then like David Goyer said, he was like, Wesley was a nightmare to work with, and Parker Post is like, "Wesley, what's the problem, darling? My name is Blade." And but yeah, they said Wesley stayed in his trailer and got high the whole time. And I would too if you were trying to steal my movie from me, Hollywood. Blade's busy right now.
Don't cross Blade.
Don't cross Blade.
Wesley could have easily said no to Deadpool Wolverine. He still came back.
Yes, and from everything it was never Ryan Reynolds beefing with Wesley, but Ryan was in a bad situation because the studio definitely wanted him to take over the franchise, and Wesley's like, "Nah, man." And so, from all accounts, they had a great reconciliation on Deadpool and Wolverine, which makes me happy, because that's one of my guilty pleasure movies is Blade Trinity. It was the morbid time of its day. But it had Parker Posey, and Parker Posey is amazing, and I love Parker Posey. But you know what else I love, Rachel?
What? What is it, Nate?
Lanterns. Lanterns is amazing. Look at Andy B. Andy B is the carrot top of comic media. He's got all the props, ladies and gentlemen.
I sure am a top, but that's right. But yeah, listen. I even have. So when I bought this, Alan Scott ring from eBay, it came with this. Like that's how hardcore I am with some of these
Oh,
nerd
wow.
stuff. But yeah,
Oh.
I also have it's here somewhere. Oh, I also have because Clement hasn't sent the ring yet, Clement. I'm still waiting, but like I have
The
purchased
ring from Lanterns.
I purchased Jon Stewart's ring.
It
but
glows in the
Clement hasn't-
dark. Did you know that, Andy B?
I know. I had to find it on Twitter.
It's
I also
amazing.
have
Like Ray, you charge
I-
up the ring in light, and then when you go in a dark room, it lights
my
up Ray.
gosh.
I have
That
Guy
was
Gardner.
cool.
I have Guy
Yeah.
Gardner's ring. I have Guy Gardner's ring from Superman.
From
So, like,
Superman.
I-
Yes.
I have a confession to make about the show, because we
Okay.
watched the trailer for we watched the trailer for Lanterns on the last episode.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, after watching that trailer, I was like,
Didn't
I
sell
don't know
you.
if this show is for me.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is something I'm gonna like, but I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Mhm.
You know.
So
I
you
like
have
the show
watched
a
the
lot
first
more than I thought
episode,
it
correct,
was.
Rach?
What'd you say?
I said you have watched the first episode, correct?
I have watched the first episode.
Okay.
The good news is I like the show a lot more than I initially thought I was going to.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
I like a good crime drama, and I saw this being described as kind of like a gritty crime drama take on a superhero. For some reason, after watching the trailer, I got the impression that it was going to be like very military based. I'm not sure where I got that impression from, but that is not the case.
Well, you're not half wrong. Like, because Jon Stewart he was
He
a
is-
Marine.
Very military, yes.
Yes.
But I thought the first episode was really interesting. Definitely a solid pilot. I think it's a really interesting take on the superhero drama to try to do more of a crime story with it. Green Lanterns is obviously very like galaxy superhero, universe based. It's very, very space. But this episode, Hal goes off, but this one took off basically entirely on Earth, and dealt with mainly Earth things, some aliens fucking with Earth things, but doing things like murder at a football game. I really liked the dynamic between John and Hal, and I said this before the last thing. I was like, my first introduction to Green Lanterns was like the Smallville season 11 series when they did it, because I just I had no interactions with Green Lanterns whatsoever. So I know very, very little about the storyline, other than, I know like the main three names basically. And, Guy Gardner was that Superman he was in?
Yes.
Maybe Brilliant Guy Gardner. Okay. Yeah. I was like, he's something. So I'm sure he's going to come up at some point. But I really like the dynamic between Hal and Jon Stewart. When watching the trailer, I definitely thought did you just use the ring to like fabricate money scene was going to be like the new recruit and like the old hardened guy. And then flipping that and it being Hal was the one doing it and John was the one disapproving. I thought that was really funny and really clever. I like their dynamic a lot, that Hal is the one who's been, I'm the old expert. I've been doing this a while, blah, blah, blah. But John is so more like following the rules and like technical about it. And Hal is like a lot more relaxed about how things work. I think that's a really like interesting take on it. I did like the little small town stuff. I liked the sheriff that's married to the defense attorney. That personally made me amused. So that sort of stuff. I thought the trailer or the pilot ended up with a really good. I guess it's a little spoiler for the pilot, but it comes with Jon Stewart. I think because it takes place in 2016, right? And then they cut to, I want to say 2028, maybe something like that.
26.
So, oh yeah, okay, no, so it's 2026. So a bit in the future, and they have like Hal Jordan's frozen body that they found on like the big, estate that the defense attorney's shady father runs, that belongs to a named billionaire person. Ooh.
William Macon.
And then the Green Lantern ring is missing, of course. So I thought that was like a really good preview shot and like a spoiler for wherever this season is going. It definitely got me intrigued for where they're going with this and to see how that plays into it. but yeah, I like the dynamic they established between the two of them a lot. I think it's very interesting, not something that you've seen before in a lot of stuff. With the recruit being the one that's very by the book, and the older guy being the one that's more cocky and kind of just into himself, feeling himself a bit too much. So I think it was a really interesting start. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes from here.
So before we go to Andy, I want to take you back to one scene in the pilot, Rachel, because it will play into like especially episode 3, which I thought was again just my favorite episode so far in the series for multiple reasons, which I'll get into and try to avoid spoilers. But what did you make of the scene where Lil Jon Stewart walked outside with his daddy after watching Hal Jordan's interview on TV, and his daddy put an apple on Jon Stewart's head, much like William Tell, and pulled out his pistol and shot the apple off of Little John's head? What did you think of that scene, Rachel?
So I actually have a note from that scene directly, and it says, "Okay, so that's like child abuse." But okay, so that was my initial take. I was like, "Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that," but it makes me very intrigued in where the story is going from here, because it definitely leads on that, like, okay, did Jon Stewart's father know he was going to be the Green Lantern recruit and has been training him since he was like a child? And like, what's going on here? Like, I need an explanation of where we're going for this. So other than being slightly horrified for Jon's child self, I thought it was a really interesting opening.
So we're gonna put a pin in that, and we're gonna come back when this series concludes, because I want to wait till Rachel sees episode 3, because we're gonna come back to this because I've got thoughts. But Andy B, overall, trying to be as non-spoilery as you can, but still giving the people details. What have you made of Lantern so far?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen. I'm not trying to do this as a brag, but like, I'm just being honest. I have seen the first 7 out of 8 episodes. So like,
well, just because you have James Gunn on speed dial, Andy, doesn't mean you're better than us, Andy.
Yeah, sure. I wish I had on speed dial.
You and Jimmy spend time in the Hamptons on the golf course.
Jimmy
Guns, what his friends call him.
I thought you were meaning like Jimmy Olsen, and I'm like,
James Gunn.
That Jimmy Olsen, I would never be friends with.
Don't bring up Jimmy Olsen in front of me. That's a sore spot.
I'm so happy that, I get people who are frustrated about the fact that, something as big as Green Lantern should be on the big screen. Well, you all did not go and see it when it was in theaters, so fuck you. The fact that they took it and made it as a television weekly drama on HBO and show you that you can have both. You can have character-driven stories, and you can have cool space shit. Like, you can have both. And, like, this is the respect that Green Lantern has always deserved. And I'm happy that it started as a television series. I love Kyle Chandler with all my heart, with all my clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Aaron P. I mean, listen, Jon Stewart is, for all of us, he is the Green Lantern. Like, if you're a millennial, you know that Jon Stewart is our man. And Aaron Pierre is awesome. And I'm, again, because, the way me and Rachel and Nate all connected, for people who are listening who may not know it, is that we did these 2 podcasts that now work together for many, many years. I hosted the Flash podcast, Rachel did that one podcast, Nate did Black Lightning podcast. And, so we know that weekly storytelling with superheroes can work. I'm not saying that the entirety of the CW was perfect, because
It had some flaws along the way,
Some bad wigs here or there.
Oh, some. You mean all of them? But the point being is that you can, when James Gunn announced the DCU was going to be a thing, I was like, I pray to God that we're going to have TV shows, and let's finally bring it to HBO. And when you see what Lanterns does, I'm like, if we can get that type of quality with other DC shows on HBO going forward, I'm like, we're in good hands in terms of fleshing out the universe on the small screen. So Lanterns is there's so many layers to it. It's not just, again, it's complex. It deals with a lot of heavy themes that I, wasn't expecting. Because when I was, because I was still under embargo, the days, a few days before the announcements were made about what the slate was going to be, the pitch they initially made was True Detective meets DC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, interesting. Okay, that could probably work. And now that you see it, I'm like, I'm so glad that I didn't have to, get this only as a 2-hour movie, because so much would be rushed,
Yeah.
and you would have less care for some of these characters. So, yeah, I mean, there's a reason I've given this show. I mean, even though I haven't seen the finale yet, and I don't know when, if they're gonna send it out early enough, but like, even though I haven't seen it, I still gave this season a 5 out of 5.
Okay. All right, Ray.
Yes, Nate. Episode 3 is absolutely a masterpiece, and I think that's what's going to get it nominated for Emmys.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. My thoughts, Ray Williams. While I am going into my thoughts, Ray, if you could bring up the crew list for episode 3 of season 1 of Lanterns, because I want to shout some people out.
All right.
Andy B knows that this is a series he and I have been talking about for years and years, and all the various iterations of this show. And so to finally have it where we now have Lanterns on our screens, it's like, I didn't think this day would come. Andy also knows the long tortured history that I have had waiting to see my favorite comic book character of all time realized in live action, that being Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern. Andy knows how often, Rachel, the CW toyed with our emotions, played with our feelings, trying to let us know that David Ramsey, John Diggle, was going to become John Stewart Diggle. And that never happened. Goodbye, green ring box. Hello, Lyra's box, as Tatiana Hollander once said. Wise words. So I was excited when this was finally announced. I was excited up until the moment when they said who Jon Stewart was going to be, Ray Williams. They said Jon Stewart was going to be Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa. Okay? And this is no slight to Aaron Pierre, because I was familiar with his game. I saw the Lion King movie with Scar singing ass. What you say to my brother? Don't put your paws on my brother. I seen the Lion King.
You saw him on Krypton.
I did. I seen him on Krypton. So I'm aware of Aaron Pierre's game. But the problem, Rachel, was Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa, didn't fit into the vision of Jon Stewart that I had in my mind. And the problem was not with Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. The problem was with me. The problem was I'd been waiting so long for this character that everybody that I envisioned to play Jon Stewart, they had aged out of the part. Or they weren't right for the part in this iteration. Thinking of names like a Morris Chestnut. Thinking of names like Aldous Hodge. Thinking of some of these types of actors. This is who I pictured Jon Stewart in live action in my mind.
And what do they have in common, Bernard? What do they have in common?
So there's shades to this. There's levels to this, a color spectrum, if you will. And so I was like, Aaron Pierre, he cool. I don't know if that's my Jon Stewart though, Ray. Then I turned on episode 1 of Lanterns on HBO Max. And I was like, Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. No, Ray. Aaron Pierre, that's Jon Stewart. That's my Jon Stewart now, Ray Williams, because Aaron Pierre, he has found a way to honor some of the iterations of John from the comics or even the DCAU on Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, but he has found a way to fully make this character his own. And we get the stoicism, the military background of Jon Stewart, that architect's mind of Jon Stewart. We get somebody who is, yes, Hal Jordan's sidekick, yes, Hal Jordan's backup, even though Hal Jordan might disagree with those categorizations. But he is his own man. He is his own Green Lantern. And so when we see him, there is a presence that he brings to the screen. And I love that they juxtapose that with Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. And I was kind of, like, I don't know. That's Coach Taylor, man. That ain't no damn Green Lantern, Ray. He running a 4-3 defense against Perry in high school. He ain't no damn Green Lantern, Ray. He can't even pick up the blitz. How he gonna pick up Sinestro, Ray? But damn it, if the two of them didn't work so well together. And to your point, Andy, I even listened to some of the official Lanterns podcast where you have Damon Lindelof and some of the other creators talking about how they envisioned this as True Detectives or Ozark meets James Gunn's DCU. And you wouldn't think that those settings would work well together, but they do. And so we've got Hal Jordan as this Green Lantern who is known to the public to the point where he's getting hit up for autographs at taco stands and whatnot. And he doesn't even wear the costume no more, Ray. He's just this kind of Nick Nolte from 48 Hours version of Hal Jordan. And he's saddled with this by-the-book, straight-laced sidekick that he doesn't want. And he's got to train this kid or this young man. And so seeing the two of them go back and forth, I love that the show's not afraid to make either one of the leads look less than. Because, like, there's instances where you look at Hal Jordan, Rachel, and you're like, I know that's, like, one of our heroes, but Hal's messed up. Like, Hal's got some issues. But John is not infallible either. Because we see in the beginning episode where John, like, they're like, hey, the detective or the sheriff in town is like, don't spook this guy. We know he's an alien. Don't come down to this field. And John's like, I should go down there and investigate. And he spooks the alien. And he looks at the detective or the sheriff and he's like, I fucked up, didn't I? She's like, yeah, you fucked up. Now go catch him. and so John's not infallible either. And so I love their dynamic. I think this is the show that feels part of the Gunn universe, but not so closely tied to it as like a Peacemaker or even a Superman, which were like James Gunn was heavily involved with those. Yeah. Whereas this feels like, yeah, it's part of that universe, but it's its own thing that can mesh with the other parts of the universe eventually. And then episode 3, and I'm going to try not to spoil it, but the episode is titled Outcast, and it's spelled the biblical way with the K, Rachel. And we get some Outcast needle drops during the episode. We see more into John's family history, and we do have allusions back to that Apple scene, Rach, which to me is some of the best stuff in the episode. Because not only do we see John's father, but we see John's mother and what she thinks about all of this and his brothers. And so it's a very nuanced episode that kind of compares and contrasts Hal's journey to being a Green Lantern and John's journey to being a Green Lantern. And I think they do it well. And then Ray, the piece de resistance. And so if you got the page pulled up, Ray, who wrote this episode and who directed this episode? So let me pull it up on here, because they also did the episode 3 podcast for Lanterns as well, and they've got a lot of fascinating tidbits about this episode.
All right, so the director was Stephen Williams.
Yes.
The head writer was Vanessa Baden.
Yes. So Stephen Williams is the director, Vanessa Baden, the head writer, both Black creatives. Some of y'all may remember Vanessa as the little sister on Kenan and Kel. Kenan's little sister that had the crush on Kel. And she's done some other fantastic things, both in front of and behind the camera. And she did a great job writing this episode. But the final scene of the episode, and again, this is a bit of a spoiler, but I'm not giving you any context clues, Rach. Hal Jordan and John Stewart are having a conversation outside, and the conversation ends when Hal Jordan looks at John Stewart and he says, I'm not looking for a partner. I'm not looking for a sidekick. you can have this ring when you get it off my cold dead hand. And he flies off into the sky as Outcast Gasoline Dreams hits. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, Ray Williams. I was wrong about Aaron Pierre. I was wrong about this series. And I can't wait for the next episode. So if you are a fan of the source material, I think you'll enjoy it, because Jon Stewart, to me, is one of the more fascinating Green Lanterns. Like, one of his claims to fame in the comics, and they've done a good job kind of illustrating in this show, is his constructs that he makes with the ring ray. They are solid. They're made from the inside out. So if he makes a watch, Ray, that watch actually behaves like a watch with the gears and everything on the inside, because that's how his mind works. His architectural mind works, and they've sprinkled that into this character on this show. And so, yeah, like, I love the dynamic. It's crazy that they killed Hal Jordan in episode 1 of the series, and it's like, how are we gonna work our way back around to this? Because Hal Jordan is amazing in this series, and he already dead. We know that from the beginning, Ray. Hal Jordan is dead. It's the worst kept secret since they told us the Thunderbolts were the new Avengers, Ray. Hal Jordan is dead, but he's still in the series because they do the flashbacks and everything. I'm waiting to see when Guy Gardner shows up, because I think they put that in one of the trailers, and I want to know how that works out, because Guy Gardner and Jon Stewart don't feel like people that would play well together. I want to see the space of it all, because we do go to space in some of these episodes, Rach, like how that ties back into the mystery on Earth. But yeah, this is a really, really solid show. They've got a lot of good people behind the camera. And then again, the show doesn't work if your leads don't work. And Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler, like, I love it. I love it.
Yep. No, I'm with you. I think they're off to a really good start. I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the moment where they share a sentimental moment, and then it's gonna be like, oh, this is dramatic irony because we know how Jordan did, because that happened at the end of the first episode, man. The balls it took, Andy B. The balls it took to show Hal Jordan at the end of the episode, Ray. No ring on his finger and a bullet hole through his head. You know that pissed off so many comic book fans online.
Yeah, but to give context also, because here's the thing it's terrible about this, is that when the first round of screeners went out in late June, early July, somebody decided to leak Hal dying in episode 1.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how everyone found out, and nobody knew
I missed that.
Yeah,
that would have spoiled it.
Yeah, to whatever asshole who got that access, you didn't deserve it. But
hopefully it got revoked. Any future access.
Well, I'm just a reporter. That's above my pay grade.
And then Andy B flies into the sky with Outcast playing behind him. Ray, you don't understand Ray Williams. Ray knows I've been a little tired the last few weeks, man. The job been beating me up, man. Ray knows I ain't been in the group chat for Nefarious Media in a while. I was hyped last night, son. I was like, I think you like when I recorded the message, like it was the end of the episode, and you even heard the Outcast in the background. Yeah, right? I was hyped, man.
That is such a Nate thing to do. I won't even mute it. I'm just gonna like freaking do it right now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use that as my background music as Hal Jordan flies into the sky and Jon Stewart just looks at him like, this son of a bitch. Their eyes full hearts can't lose.
I think he likes me.
Yes, yeah. That. So yeah, Hal flies off Rach and John's like, huh, I think he likes me.
He's talking to a bird.
Talking to a bird, yeah.
So Rachel, what is this nonsense that you haven't seen past episode 1 though? Like, thought you were a real DC TV fan.
You are a DC, Rachel.
I am a DC fan, but I honestly I just never got into Green Lantern stuff. Green Arrow was my
sold on the trailer.
So, you know, the trailer was kind of odd, honestly. But you know, I'm open. I'm looking. I'm willing. See where it goes.
Well, the good thing is that today is Monday. Sunday is episode 4. There's because Nate was talking about, there's a scene that I think is going to make him so happy as a Jon Stewart fan. But you have 5 days to catch up. They're on HBO Max right now, so when when you're not busy like doing the law thing and stuff.
Definitely not busy.
Watch those 2 episodes.
How many episodes is it, Andy? 8?
8, yeah. So 8, and the only one I haven't seen is the finale. So I have no idea how it ends.
So yeah, so like we've got the Lituation Room group chat with myself, Clement, Brittany, and Vanessa, and it lit up last night after the episode. So like, yeah, I think once the season finishes, Rachel, we'll have to see if they land the plane. But I think we'll definitely have to talk about it, and Ray can finally watch it as well.
Sounds good. All right.
Ray is
I think
like,
we are ready to wrap up this episode. It's been
Ray said every show I watch gets canceled. I'm not going to do that to Jon Stewart.
We've been on for a bit.
We have. That's because we haven't talked in a while, Rach.
It's true. We had a lot to talk about.
And Andy was here, so blame Andy.
Yeah. Like I was like you haven't talked to me. Like I've talked more to Rachel than I talked to you, Nate, in the last couple of months. But that's only because like everyone, like once a week I will be like, new Luigi update. Or
it's true. Andy and I have only talked about Luigi Mangione.
That's all you talk about is Luigi. What's Luigi doing today, Rachel? Well,
we had a good heart-to-heart not long ago about his recent legal strategy choices.
All right, so let's wrap things up. Let's start with Andy Bebeck, who joined us today, Maleficent himself.
Yeah.
Also, Andy. Hey, not that I didn't notice because I'm a perceptive friend. Looking good, buddy. Look, you just slimmed down, my boy.
Oh yeah, the surgery definitely worked.
Out here looking like a whole new man, Andy B. I'm proud of you, sir.
Well, I was gonna say I like the hair too.
He's got like the hair thing going now.
Okay, so I just woke up with the hair like this today. Like I literally.
You woke up like this?
Yeah.
Hi, Beyonce.
No. Okay, because this is the funny. Okay, so an inside joke was that when I came out of my surgery. And I was sending like people updates, like photos of myself, like in the hospital attire. So for some reason, a lot of people were like, "How is your hair looking so good after surgery?" I'm like, "I literally didn't do anything. Like this is just how it was." So
Andy told the doctor, "Could you throw in a rinse and condition while I'm under the anesthesia?"
Listen. I'm definitely going bald up here, so that's why you always see me like kind of keeping my head up high.
But gotta keep your head up, Andy.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But appreciate the love. It's been an interesting year for sure. But no, I always love coming on here talking with you guys about all sorts of things. So thank you for having me. As the great Maleficent that I am, because I was about to be like, well. Seems like somebody lost their invitation. Like I can't pull curses, to put princesses to sleep for 100 years, but I can moan and bitch in the comment section. So, but thank you for having me. Always love being on here. People want to find me online. I'm at Andrew Becht on all social media platforms. I'm a senior lead writer for Screen Rant, where I cover all sorts of news and of entertainment for TV and film, interviews here and there. And I also run Multiverse of Color, where you can find great podcasts, great articles, and coverage from various points of view. I also do host DC Studios podcast, which is part of Multiverse of Color. We're covering Lanterns weekly, me and Kyle, and so hopefully we can hey, at some point maybe we try to get you on.
Have your people call my people. Tell Jimmy I'm available.
What do you mean your people and my people?
I'm sorry, I had a Jean Grey moment. Hey, yo, Spiderman, what's up with your people?
There you go. But yeah, I have some Lanterns interviews that I'm dropping in a few weeks because there's spoilers in them.
Nice. Can you say who you talked to?
I talked to the actress who plays Zoe, the actress who plays Kelly MacDonald, who plays Carrie. Oh, Rachel. Do you know that sheriff character in Lanterns?
Yeah.
Her last name is Kane, and she comes from Gotham City.
Oh,
That's right. That's right.
Really?
Yes, I
That's
forgot
very
about that.
interesting.
That's on you because you didn't watch episode 2 in time. That like I'm not being held accountable. Like I've been like that's not an embargo that I broke. That is out there. So
Also,
you know,
Rachel, because I know you're a Hamilton head as well, and this is no spoiler. Jon Stewart's mother is portrayed by Jasmine Cephas Jones from Hamilton.
Oh, very
yeah.
And
cool.
she's amazing in episode 3.
All
but trailer
right.
the trailer interests me enough.
I'm excited to watch these next couple episodes. That's
Yeah.
Yes.
it's good to
Yeah.
know.
But that's where you can find me on all places. I will be. I mean, once my dear computer is back to that's why I'm on a different setup. Like my computer, like it got one demand, but so it's currently down. But hopefully it will be up back and running. But I will be streaming live for Marvel's Wolverine.
Okay.
Assuming that Insomnia doesn't pull a Wonder Man
Oh.
there as well.
Yes. Ray is also excited about that Wolverine game. So
It looks so freaking good. Like, did you see all the costumes that are going to be available?
yes. Like every Wolverine costume imaginable.
I don't think they're going to include all of them because there's definitely some that I'm like, you're missing out. But I ordered the controller, the Wolverine controller. So
Okay.
but
You just have Hugh Jackman's face on it.
No, I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but like, they're gonna do their own thing. They're gonna do their own thing. But yeah, thank you for having me on. Always love talking to you guys about everything, and yeah, I'm only one Maleficent call away.
All right, thank you, Andy B. I always love having you around, brother. Ray Williams. Anything you would like to tell the people about? Shout out your live watch yesterday, or anything else on your mind that you may be wondering about, man.
Oh, okay.
It was a bit of a stretch on that one.
Yeah, the horse has been beaten about 38 times. the dead horse has been beaten.
The 39th time is what does it, though, Ray. That's when he comes back.
But yes, we did have a live watch of All Elite Wrestling's All in London yesterday, which was a tremendous show with myself, brother Chris Ely, the good brothers from Ring Theory podcast, Gerard Brown and Jay Lacey. That was a fun time had by all. So, and if you checked out the show, hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. It was a tremendous show. But upcoming sometime should be a brand new episode of Styles Break Fights where we cover everything happening in mixed martial arts, including some a big upset over this past weekend with Son Yadong knocking out Usman Nurmagomedov. So somebody finally from the Dagestani camp fallen victim. Usually they've been having just nothing but killers with Islam Makhachev retaining his UFC welterweight championship a couple weeks ago, but now there's a little bit of a chink in the armor of Khabib's camp. So we'll see what happens. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. Also, Ring Theory should be coming out where we do review All In as well as take a look at Sunday night's main event coming up. And there are going to be some good theories spouted around by the good brothers Jay and Gerard as well. So look forward to that. Keep an eye out and an ear out for that as well. So, and you can always find me on whatever goes on right here at Nefarious Media Network.
Thank you as always, Ray Williams. We give you a hard time, but hey, there's no other backsliding vegan that we would rather have here producing, Ray. We appreciate all your hard work, brother. In terms of me, obviously you can find me here in Nefarious Media. As Ray mentioned, we got a lot going on that has happened this past weekend, and a lot more to come this week. Coming up next week, whenever we get our schedules aligned, we'll be having our second annual fantasy football draft. We out here drafting these sports ball games, Andy B. And we are going to broadcast the fantasy draft live. The only question is, who is going to select Dejuan Love the greatest football player in the NFL right now. If you know, you know, Ray. We will talk about DeJuan Love at some point because it is the greatest story in NFL history. But we'll be doing that as well. We've got a new YouTube channel dedicated to Ring Theory. They've also got their own IG channel now, so you can check that out if you're interested in the pro wrestling. Ray Williams is still in the planning stages of bringing Put You On Game to the world, and I'm sure we'll send Andy B an invitation whenever our video game channel launches. I'm gonna beat
all your asses. I don't even know what we're playing, but I'm just gonna assume I'm gonna beat you all.
Just Andy and Ray playing 3 rounds of Wheel of Fortune. That's what the people want to see, Rachel. Can I buy a vowel?
No, can we do? No, because I was about to be like, is that the one that Steve Harvey does? No, that's
Pat Sajak and Vanna.
Let's do Family Feud instead. That's way more fun.
I wonder if there's got to be a Family Feud video game.
I'm sure there's some. It's probably like a Game Boy Color game from like 1998.
I think there is.
That'd be amazing.
We need to digitize Steve Harvey. We got
yes, digitize Steve Harvey. But yeah, Ray's got that in the works. So we got a lot of things going on here at Nefarious Media. If you would like to be a part of the congregation and contribute something to the building fund, hit up the Patreon, patreon.com/Nefarious Media Network, where $3 can get you in the door for over 300 hours of audio and video content, including exclusives like the Avengers Initiative, including exclusives like some of our live watches and many other perks that you can get for becoming a member. We appreciate it. Anything that we earn from that goes back into the production budget and affords Ray the lavish lifestyle that he has become accustomed to these past 2 years. So we appreciate it. And if for more from me, just follow me on socials at @8 MOZAIK, Nate Mosaic 757 on Blue Sky and Threads, IG, but most importantly, follow everything Nefarious. And speaking of the opposite of Nefarious, even though she's on Nefarious, but she's not Nefarious because she's a staunch defender of the law.
It's true.
Staunch. Rachel, anything you would like to promote, my friend, as we leave this week?
I am mostly a lawyer with a podcast habit these days. This is pretty much the only thing I have going on. But you can always find me on my Twitter account. I will sooner die than refer to it as the letter that Elon Musk gave it, because it's Twitter. It's going to be forever. You could be at Rachel Eiley, RACHELEILEY. I mostly tweet about my life and K-pop. I did tweet this last week. I had a pretty big success in one of my cases. I won an appeal. It happened to be the first appeal that I ever filed, which is a little ridiculous. So I'm a bit happy about that currently. But you can find me tweeting about my legal adventures and also K-pop people that you probably won't know about. At Rachel Eiley. I'm also on Instagram. I don't really post on there, but I am on it at the same name. So that is where you can find me.
All right. Thank you to everybody for watching this edition of Super Salad. We'll be back at some point next month talking about something else or maybe the same thing, depending on if Rachel enjoys the next couple episodes of Lanterns. We might spend more time talking about that.
That's true.
But it was a fun time as always, Rach. Missed you, my friend. Missed you, Andy B. Ray, I see you all the time, but I still love you, brother. Rachel, get us out of here. Hey, yo, Spiderman, that's the end of the show. Get us out of here.
All right, my peeps. We're wrapping up another edition of the Super Salad Podcast. Hope you had a good time. See you next time. Bye.
Later.